How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we still have the Iran conflict, war, battle, insurgents, whatever you want to call it. We still have that going on, of course. And there's been some new combatants to enter the ring on our behalf, at least. And I have a question before I continue with my introduction. Where are Iran's allies? Where are Iran's allies? Because I would presume there are some allies. Where are they in this whole thing? We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, did you guys see the Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton deposition on the Epstein situation? Did you guys see that? Did you guys see Bill look like he was reminiscing about the good old days when he was going through the pictures? Nickelback, look at this photograph. He looked like that in the beginning. It was crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, there was a shooting at a bar in Austin, Texas, and a man from Senegal, now naturalized U.S. citizen, is the one who did it. Not only was he wearing a Property of Allah hoodie, he also had an Iran flag t-shirt underneath, and he had pictures of the leaders at his house. Some are going to say that's what you guys get messing with these people. But guess what? It doesn't matter what you do, what you don't do. Wherever you have Islam, you're going to have terror attacks. Also, Anthropic, have we banned it? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all for joining me tonight. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a bit going on, of course. The Iran war, that's going to be the big thing. There's divided opinions about that in the United States. I think over in Iran, really Persia. You're not pronouncing it right. Persia is really the name, but we don't want to go down that road because that's a long history, so I digress. Anyway, there's a lot of people who have conflicting opinions on Iran over here, especially, but over in Iran, I think the consensus would say that we were right to go ahead and jump in. And the main thing is that people are not free under that regime. They're not free. And also, there are a bunch of different little things happening, movements happening within the region. The Kurds, the Iraqi Kurds are entering the war. There's a lot of stuff happening right there. And although you never be able to stop the fighting in that part of the world because they've been fighting forever and ever and ever. Some of the greatest tales about Persia, like the movie 300, they've been fighting like they were fighting then, they were fighting before then, and they're going to keep on fighting forever. I don't know, maybe God can come back and put a stop to it, but beyond that, they're going to keep on fighting. So what we got to do is make sure that they don't fight so much to the point where we get hit with a nuke or the Jays get hit with a nuke. Because let's be clear, if they hit the Jays, the world's over because they control the finances. And if you don't have that going on, then what are you going to do? You're going to get up in the morning and try to go to the grocery store, try to turn on your water. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like, think about if they really just destroyed them. If they did something like that, think about how this world would turn upside down. We turned upside down. So not only could they hit the Jays, Israel, they could also hit us and our neighbors in the region. All for what? To take us all back to the Stone Age. Because let's be clear, when you go to Afghanistan, when you go to Iran, when you go to Pakistan, at a certain point, you got third world, like the year 600 AD type stuff going on. There was a movie I saw, I forget what it was called, where they had time travel and they went back in the past. Like when they got there, they were in their regular like space outfits or whatever they had on, right? They go back to the past. They're in like this kind of Egyptian looking place, Iraqi looking place. They got on brown rags and they're sitting at a bazaar trading trinkets. That's how it looks in a lot of the Middle East right now. Like time is not past. They're still in the year 600 AD, right when Islam first came out. When Islam came out, when that book dropped on their head tops back then, they just stopped time right there, and they still right there in the Stone Age, where if you're a woman, not wearing your hijab, not wearing a trash bag, get up. Hey, man, 1,000 lashes. Hey, if you die, oh, well, it is what it is. Allah said it's okay. That's what's happening right now. So what do you do with that? Just let them continue and then act out in a barbaric way against you? You could just wait for them to do it, or you can be proactive. That's just the bottom line. Now, it doesn't really matter. They got weapons mass destruction. They got this, they got that. The issue is they're going to be a threat. So either we just let them be a threat, or we intervene before they become a threat to us. Not to mention how they oppress their own people. Remember, when Trump said, hey, help's on the way, because the whole world stood up and took notice when we captured Maduro from Venezuela. They're like, oh, is that easy? If you could do that so easily, come get our guy. We got a guy right here who's been in there forever, okay, and we hate him, and we can't do nothing about it because if we step up to him, they're going to kill us. So, hey, if you could do that with Maduro, come get our guy as well. That'd be fantastic. So we did it. And when Trump said help's on the way, the Iranians went out and protested the government. And unlike the United States, ain't no freedom of speech over there. Freedom of speech is a thing we take for granted, really. We take that for granted and we abuse it, but different story. Over there, ain't no freedom of speech. You want to protest, okay, how about take this gunshot back of your head, execution style. 35,000 of them on the low end were killed. I'm seeing that number reported on various sources. From what I know, from the Iranians that have called me, and they got family and friends they're able to call whenever the phone service works, or whenever the internet, Wi-Fi works. They're telling them, hey, 50,000, 75,000, hundreds, if not thousands every day being killed by the regime just for protesting or just because they think they might be sympathetic to the protesters. So you got a humanitarian crisis. You got a security crisis. You got all kind of stuff going on. So it's a matter of, do you act or do you not act? Furthermore, I don't think it would have mattered who was in office. It could have been Kamala. The same thing would have happened. I'm just not quite sure how well it will have happened with Kamala Harris in office, because remember, under Joe Biden, how disastrous the Afghanistan withdrawal was. That was a mess. That was a mess. I think leaving Afghanistan was going to happen regardless. But the way it was done under the previous administration, embarrassing, totally ridiculous. I mean, the image of the guy hanging onto the plane as it was taking off, I mean, that's burned in my memory forever. They left all the guns and whatnot behind. It was crazy. It was totally nuts. So my point to bringing that up is to say that in either scenario, Afghanistan gets the withdrawal, or maybe we don't from Afghanistan. But I think we probably would have. But it's a matter of how it went. Same thing with Iran. The pieces have been lining up on the chess table for years and years and years to do this. For years and years. Because when you do something like this, it's not as simple as, okay, let's just push the button and go drop bombs. You're talking about years and years and years of preparation, surveillance, all kind of stuff. Getting technology to a certain point where it needs to be able to do it efficiently. That is kind of what leads up to a thing like this, and all the internal movements in Iran leading up to it. So it had to happen. It is what it is. So, you know, I pray for the Iranian people and for the USA. I think we'll be okay. I don't see this being like Iraq. Now, to speak on Iraq right quick, because many are comparing it to Iraq, and understandably so. They're neighbors. It's the same kind of people, kind of, sort of, a little bit. They ain't the same people, but they're similar, because it's a neighboring country. Okay, it's like comparing Japan and Korea, kind of, sort of, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so the Iranian people there, my train of thought is totally lost. As I went down that, I did the weave. But my whole point is this: the war was going to happen. It was going to start, and the people there wanted something to happen. They wanted some type of relief. They wanted to get away from the regime. So what do we do? What do we do? Oh, Iraq. That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to pivot to Iraq. So in Iraq, I think the reason why it lasted so long, the war lasted so long, because it was the military industrial complex trying to get money from the longevity aspect of it. Okay, we can get a defense contract for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Maybe not one that lasts that long with the first signing of the pen, but let's keep getting a renewal year after year. We're making money. Raytheon, Halliburton, let's get this money. That's kind of what it seems like to me. They were just printing money from the federal government to be over there. You know, that's kind of what it seems like. I think they could have done what was happening over in Iraq for a lot less money, but the military industrial complex wanted to get that money, and they wanted to get that money. And that's why we're there for a long time. Now, if you guys are Iraq veterans, if you guys are military, feel free to correct me because I don't know everything. This is just my humble opinion as a guy, a random dude, just right here in the US of A. So please pardon me if I'm incorrect. But in my humble opinion, I think it was lasting a long time like that because of the financial aspect of it. That's what it seems like to me. Now, as I said in my video reacting to this initially, if we can get this done in a brief period of time and it's not going on and on like Iraq or Afghanistan or Ukraine. And speaking about Ukraine right quick, I saw somebody on my comments was like, well, you guys want to support the Trojan slip. You guys want to support the Iran war, but not the Ukraine-Russia war. See, Ukraine-Russia wound up being similar to Iraq and Afghanistan. Similar, meaning the time aspect of it. Okay, so how long are we going to keep funding this dude Zelensky? The optics of it alone were irritating. This guy does not wear a suit, show no respect to the Oval Office. You come to the Oval Office wearing some pajamas, wearing your cosplay outfit, wearing your military fatigues, whatever everything you got on. Okay, looking like Hugo Chavez or whatever his name is, looking like Manuel Noriega, looking like Fidel Castro. You looking like that coming to the White House talking about something, yeah, let me get 200 billion. Right now, come on, chop, chop. And there was a picture, if I can find it, I'll throw it up. But there was a picture of when Joe Biden in the Oval Office sitting down, writing something, doing something, and then Zelensky's like this with disgust. Hold on, I got to find it right now. Zelensky, Biden, Oval Office. And I bet what I'm searching right now will pop up right away. I bet that it will. But it was crazy. And I saw that. I'm like, you know what? There is a lack of respect there. It is just kind of like, hey, man, sign that paper, get it over with, and get up out the way. Okay. Of course, I can't find it, but y'all probably remember what I'm talking about. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. It was crazy. I didn't like it. It was embarrassing. And I don't like how their war is going. They're just throwing human beings in the meat grinder. They got migrants from Africa. Like I saw one dude came from Kenya. Talking about something, you want to be a student. Oh, okay, you're going to be a student of war. You're going to be straight cannon fodder. That's going to be your class. Cannon fodder 101. Get out there. Here go your weapon and your jacket. Oh, where's my boots? Where's my hot hat? Hey, don't worry about that, bro. Just go out there. Do not worry about suit or hot hat. Just go to the front and just prepare yourself for battle. That's pretty much what it is. I know that might have been kind of like a Nigerian Russian. That sounds like Voldemort Zelensky mixed with the president Tinubu or whoever. But shout out to the comparison. You know what I mean? The point is, it just kind of put them out there. It could be anybody. They getting guys off the street with conscription, pretty much kidnapping Ukrainians, throwing them in the van. Russians, same thing, throwing them in the van, getting migrants to come over there. For what, though? For what? What reason? What is the purpose? Why? If it was up to me, I would say, yo, just let Russia have Ukraine and have that be that. And then draw a red line. If they want to try to take other stuff, matter of fact, let them have Ukraine and Belarus. Since Belarus is already friendly to Russia, let them be like satellite nations, and it's okay. Latvia, Southern Lithuania, let them be protected. Let it be a buffer zone. Let's not let them get past that. Meaning NATO. Let's not let NATO, say that 5 times fast. Let's not let NATO get past that. Make a deal. Do something. Don't just put these guys in the meat grinder. So if this war winds up becoming that, then I'm against it. Because things can start one way and then you're going to be in favor of it. But when they become something else, or when you're told one thing and then a different thing is true, then it becomes a problem. But I can't necessarily say that I don't like something because I think that it might be something else other than what it is. if you tell me one thing, I'm gonna believe that. If something else wound up being true, then hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't tell me no lies. Don't mislead me. Be honest. Be truthful. And if we can have that in government, I know that might be a tall task. Hey, I know honesty in the federal government might be a tad bit of a tall task. I get it. But if we can have that, then we'd be A-OK. We'd be A-OK. So yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling. Now, protesters for the Iran war, there's not many protesters because guess what? That budget ain't really there for this one. Okay, the budget is not there. What was the other one they were protesting? What was that? Renando Code Good. And there was something else. Oh, the Ukraine. Yeah, because that's where the money's going. Okay, how much you want to bet some of that $200 billion from the taxpayer got rerouted back into the pockets of the protesters, quote unquote? Okay, how much you want to bet it got rerouted back into the pockets of the so-called protesters? When you see, well, we saw some protests that were clearly organized and paid for. We saw some of that with the whole Iran war. You see some of these signs beautifully crafted, but there's not as many protests for this, in my opinion, because the budget isn't as big. What are you actually trying to accomplish with protesting the war? What's going to happen? Because like I said, it doesn't really matter who was in office. They were going to do this regardless because it had to happen. And if we didn't act, they were going to act. And we would have had to respond. Okay, what they wanted to do is nuke the Jays. And now we got a really big problem. If that happens, listen to me very well now, because I know we got a lot of, the Jews this, the Jews that, the Jews control this, Jews control that. The reason why, and you know what, I'm going to say this, and shout out to my Jewish friends, shout out to my Jewish homies, Ladovador, L'chaim, all that good stuff. I know all that. Yes, I do. But anyway, watch this. The Jews control so much because they are the smartest European people. Can I say that without being offensive? They're the smartest European people. As I said before, if not for the Jews doing what they do, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? The Germanics who killed Rome. And if you're German, shout out to you. The guys over in UK who fell off 600 years ago when slavery started. And like when they did that, when they expanded, they fell off because they had brain drain. All your best and brightest came to the new world. So what do you have left? Hello, Gafna. What y'all got left? Making 4 documentaries about the guy with Tourette's. That's your entertainment. That's what y'all doing. And in the documentary about the guy with Tourette's, y'all did blackface. Okay, we still doing that in 2026. I'm not even offended and nothing being racist. I'm just like, yo, come on, man. That's so like 1915. That's so like old school. That's before we even had like, that's before we even had TVs in the house. You had a guy cranking a thing like this, recording blackface and that type of stuff. Y'all still doing that in 2026. Y'all fell off. Where's your innovation? Where's your productivity? Where's your creativity? If the Jews in Israel can't control what they control, who's going to do it? The people in UK, the Germans, the Eastern Europeans who can't even figure out how to get bread without killing each other over it. They can't even figure out how to get grain without dying over it, which is Ukraine. That's the whole Ukraine conflict. So again, if you hit them, the Jays, is over with. Mark my words. So yeah, shout out to them. Hey, you know what? Everyone in this world has their purpose. Everyone is good at something. And I think whatever you're good at, you should maximize that for the betterment of this world. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Now, shout out to the Muslims. Shout out to the Muslims. But, and you know what? I'm going to say something positive because with every religion, major organized worldwide religion, there's positives and negatives. With everyone, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, this ism, that ism, Judaism, Islam. The thing about Islam is if you're a man, it appeals to you because in the religion, they say you can be strong and you can be a warrior and all this stuff. Now, whether you actually are a warrior or strong or not is a different story, but you're willing to fight. You're willing to go out there and die for what you believe in. Okay. And then when you die, you get to have all these virgins. It's beautiful to a man who does not know a lot. To an uneducated man, this is a beautiful thing to embrace, in my humble opinion. Not all, but you understand what I'm saying. Go to Iraq, go to Afghanistan. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Live in full color. You're going to see it. You're going to see them wearing these rags like they still in the year 600 AD before Islam came out. Okay. But the problem with that religion is when they get angry, when they feel like Allah permits it, they're going to go out there and do something to you. That's called a terror attack all over the world. It doesn't really matter what color. It doesn't matter what race. It doesn't matter what location. They could be in Russia, China, Africa, Europe, not just Russia. They could be in London, UK, Moscow, Russia, Lagos, Nigeria, Joburg, South Africa, Beijing, China. They could be anywhere. They're going to do the exact same thing eventually. Now, the majority of them, they're going to be peaceful, okay? Had that girl in the black trash bag with the little mailbox slit. It's going to be good, right? It's going to be all that. But one day, somebody going to snap, Allahu Akbar, and then it's going to be a mess. That's the truth. It's the truth. Tell me I'm lying. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And all these religions, they got a problem with something else. Can I say that? And I know people going to get offended, but they got a problem with something else. Must I say it on the internet? I don't want to say it, but you already know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the Catholic priests. Okay. And like I said, it ain't just the Catholics. The Muslims do that. Them dancing boys they got. I know what y'all be doing. Okay. The Jays got some things going on as well. So that was kind of a rant. But my point is, I'm not just trying to bash a particular religion. And I don't think that one religion should be bashed. However, it's okay to point out some of the flaws that exist within. It's okay to point out some of the flaws that exist within the religion. I think it's okay. But I'm not trying to say that Islam is bad or Judaism is bad or Christianity is bad. I respect every religion, but I think that there are some things we can point out. And one thing we point out with Islam is the terror attacks. And we saw that in Austin, Texas. This guy shot up a bar. An African dude from Senegal, okay, originally naturalized U.S. citizen. For all we can see, he was kind of a normal dude in his apartment, and then he decides, you know what, I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to shoot this place up for Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and the Islamic Republic of Iran. He got a property of Allah t-shirt on, or hoodie. Property of Allah right there on the jank, right? Underneath of that, you got an Iran flag with the Allahu Akbar written 22 times on it. 11 on top, 11 on the bottom. It was crazy. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. We got a whole lot going on. We got a lot to talk about as far as Iran, a lot of updates on that. Marco Rubio, very good. He's doing very well, but he's under some criticism because of some things that he said about Israel and whatnot. We get to that. And also Zoran Mamdani. Hey, so you guys know Zoran had promised the free healthcare or healthcare for all, even illegal aliens. Now, before we even get to anything else, I just want to say this. I'm going to ask a question. How are you going to have healthcare for all, including illegal aliens, when you're going to need identification? Because he already said, okay, we must have proof of residence. Okay, so in order to give you proof of residence, I must also provide identification, correct? What are you going to do? You're going to get a bill of mine or some mail that I got to that address and then match it with my ID and my face, my name is going to match. And then boom, now I'm eligible if I'm eligible. But when it comes time to vote, all of a sudden, I don't know nothing about identification. You don't got to prove where you live. And matter of fact, if you're illegal, don't even worry about proving that. It's totally fine. Your name could be Muhammad, Muhammad, the 15th child. Okay, you the 15th oldest son. What's your younger sibling's name? They're all named Muhammad. Okay, fantastic. So anyway, M15. Okay, you can just go vote, and it's totally fine. Don't worry about identification, proving who you are, proving where you live, proving where you're from, proving if you're a citizen. Don't worry about that. It's all good. Muhammad, M15. Go ahead and go vote. You want to talk about snow? Yo, I need not one, but 2 forms of identification and proof of residence. Same thing with the free, quote unquote, free daycare. And you know what? The free daycare, childcare is only in like 4 neighborhoods, something like this. Don't quote me on that, but it's limited in its scope, and it's going to cost the taxpayer $75 million for the first year and 490 M's the second year. But it's free, right? It's free, but you got to pay for it. Make that make sense. That's not very free to me because I don't have any children. I don't know how much childcare would cost, but I know it don't cost 400 M's a year. I know it don't cost that much. So why are we paying that? Because it's not free. You're paying for it on the back end. And you're going to get squeezed more and more and more if you're living in New York for these services that you might not even have. It's like having health insurance and they got all this stuff on it. It's like, I don't even need that. What I need with an eye doctor visit, I know my prescription. Matter of fact, if I want to update it, all I got to do, go to Wally World, pay the optometrist X amount of money, get my prescription, and go about my business. I don't got to pay insurance for dental and all of that. Look, I go pay cash money. That's what I'm going to do. Back when I had eye surgery, I had a chelation on my eye. It was crazy. Don't look it up. It's going to be nasty. But it was causing my eye to do something like this. Okay. So I had surgery on it. Look, I ain't had no insurance. I ain't had no car. I rode the bus to go there. You hear me? And that thing was about $500 straight out of my pocket. Why do I need insurance for that? Now, this is a long time ago. That probably costs a lot more now, but still, it'd be relatively cheap. It's to the point where people are paying less to just go straight to the doctor and get something done with cash rather than having the insurance cover it. Okay, that's kind of what's going on. All right. Dr. Goat says, ABL, blink twice if Mossad got you. Mossad. I mean, I don't understand. It's so weird. I see some of the comments. Oh, you just like B. Tatum. It's Talmud ABL. First of all, that's my brother right there. Shout out to my dog, B. Tatum. That's like my brother for real. So anybody got a problem with B. Tatum, man, you got to fight me too. You know what I'm saying? I like to fight for my friend. But anyway, I'm just playing a little bit. But I don't really get it. I'm just telling the truth. I don't care who it offends. I don't care who it helps or who it hurts. I'm just here to tell the truth. That's it. I've not gotten $7,000 from anybody linked to Israel or Jews or Tucker Carlson or anybody like that. You know where I get money from? AdSense revenue and merchandise. And then if I do a speaking engagement or something like this, okay, I get my monies from the internet, from you guys. You guys fund me. So ain't no Mossad, unless Mossad is a different term for the ABL squad. Unless somebody is misspeaking, that's what that means. So nah. I've not even been on Fox News before. I'm super organic and people just support me because they want to support me, not because I'm a plant or the Jays are controlling me or something like this. That's just not what it is. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And also, before I continue and get into my thing, RIP to Lou Holtz. You guys may know Lou Holtz. Famous, what was he, a football coach, right? And then he became an announcer. I know him for being an announcer more than anything else. And he's from West Virginia. So shout out to Lou, straight from Dub V. We're from Follinsby. Where is that? Let's look up Follinsby, West Virginia. Okay. Brooke County. Okay, up there by yeah. By Pittsburgh. That's like by Morgantown. So yeah, shout out to Lou Holtz coming from the best West Virginia, RIP. And how old was he? Lou Holtz was 89 years old. I'll put a picture right quick. Okay, so he was the coach of Notre Dame. Okay, that's what he was. All right. So can we get a picture or nah? There we go. So here is Lou Holtz again. Rest in peace. He was 89 years old from West Virginia out there in the Morgantown area. The famous Notre Dame football coach. And really, I know him more for being an announcer. That's how I know Lou Holtz. Really, really nice guy, really relatable, really, really good guy. So RIP. Okay. He's not dead. What's this right here? What's this say? Yes, he is dead. Now, maybe that was reference to somebody else. I think somebody said something about Jim Carrey. Now, Jim Carrey not dead, but yeah, this is real. Let me see if I can pull a link up right quick. Okay, South Bend Tribune. You see it. Let me pull it up. Lou Holtz, legendary Notre Dame football coach, dated 89. Okay, and this was today, March 4th, 2026. So again, RIP Lou Holtz. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And before I continue, shout out to you guys for being the sponsors of the video, because y'all know without you, there is no me. Thank you for being here and being the very first sponsor. But also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Now, I see a comment I want to address because it's a nice comment. It's a good comment. Somebody said, UK needs ABL. Please let me go to UK. Please, please, please. Matter of fact, this is what I want to do in UK. I want to do meet and greets. You guys know I've been trying to do it for years, but I want to do one over in UK. And I want people that have an issue with the whole Tourette's thing to talk to me in person. Or I want to, so you don't like the guy with you? I can't even, hey, and you know what I'm going to do? Before I go to UK, I'm going to get all my accents right. I'm going to get my Conor McGregor, my Piers Morgan, my David Beckham, all of that. I'm going to be posh. I'm going to be Cockney. I'm going to be Scottish, Irish, Welsh, all of that. Yes, I know all that. I'm going to get all those accents right before I go. But yeah, please, hey, if you're watching right to now, I'm going to get it right. But if you're watching me right now, make that happen. I want to do it. But anyway, as I continue, shout out to my regular website, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and on the front page of the website, you'll see articles for each long video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Again, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there in the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're talking to me or on the internet or not, just make sure that you have emailed me with my emails on the contact page of the website, contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. And if you can't remember, again, it's on the contact page, because if you are not contacting me there, you're being scammed. You will be robbed of all your money. It's going to be gone. It'll be going on a flash, just like this. The money will be gone. I will not be able to reimburse you now. So don't ever ask. Do not email me and say, hey, but yeah, please, the money is gone. I don't know what to tell you, my brother. I don't have it. I cannot assist with your dilemma. So please do not ask. I will never reimburse you all your monies. I don't have it. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. You guys are the best. Let's get into an update on the Iraq. Pardon me. I keep saying Iraq. There go that millennial, because for a long time, Iraq, that was like the thing we talked about, because it lasted forever. That was like every day, Iraq. So one more Ira place in the Middle East right next door. It's the same thing. Anyway, the Iran conflict, Caroline Levitt, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight to it. And some sound, RIP in advance to the headphone users. Yeah, I got a little Jamaican in there too. Did you hear the Jamaican? So shout out to the Jamaicans, because they ain't nothing but Nigerians who just learn English.
There's been a lot of misreporting and intellectual dishonesty from the American media on why President Trump decided to launch this operation. So let me remind you, Operation Midnight Hammer, which took place last June, obliterated Iran's 3 major nuclear sites. Yet the terrorist Iranian regime has remained fully committed to rebuilding its nuclear program. How do we know this? Because Iran has pursued this path of war and violence despite President Trump dispatching 2 of his top and most trusted negotiators to engage in exhaustive and good faith negotiations to try and reach a deal. And the world knows this president's preference is always peace and diplomacy first. Look no further than the 8 additional global conflicts he has ended in the past year as proof. Unfortunately, the terrorist Iranian regime refused to negotiate in good faith. They chose this path of violence and destruction, and they are reaping the consequences of their horrible decision. The regime did what they always have done. They lied, they delayed, they tried to string the United States of America along. They wanted to buy themselves time to continue building ballistic missiles and other deadly weaponry that could harm our U.S. personnel and troops in the region, and to continue aggressively pursuing their unacceptable nuclear ambitions.
Let's pause for a second. Now, some are saying that it won't be the nuclear weapons. That's WMD 2.0, all this, that, and the third. I mean, that's possible. But I think the issue is they are going to fight regardless, because the regime in place is going to fight. Whether they got nukes, whether they got missiles, whether they got ICBMs, whether they got terror, whether they got cyber attacks. Because did you guys see that movie with Barack Obama on Netflix? I'm going to get back to her in a minute. Did you guys see that Barack Obama movie about, okay, if the world ended and they had the plane crash and the boat washed ashore, and then they were having to go to a bunker and stuff like that? That could be a real thing. You get hit with a sound weapon. You get hit with some other stuff. They're dropping down leaflets. It's in some kind of random Arabic-looking script. That can happen for real. So to prevent that, you got to take preventative measures, in my humble opinion. But let me continue.
U.S. negotiators offered to lift crippling sanctions on Iran and even provide nuclear fuel to Iran at no cost to support a civil nuclear power program. They additionally had the opportunity to accept U.S. support as an investor in potential projects to develop peaceful nuclear energy together under a mutually agreed upon framework. Yet in response, Iran would have to forfeit their enrichment capacity once and for all. But Iran rejected. They accepted none of these generous and unprecedented offers by the United States. Simply put, they refused to say yes to peace. And their refusal made clear that their number one priority was building a nuclear weapon with which to threaten the United States of America. Again, the country they have been chanting death to for nearly 5 decades.
So there we go. There's a little bit more, but that's pretty much like the gist of it so far. That is the gist so far from Caroline Levitt. All right, shout out to her. And this it's like the barrister outfit. It's kind of like what old girl had on in the other video. Shout out to Ashley from CNN. So who wore it better, Ashley or Caroline? I think Caroline got the, but anyway. Shout out to the outfits. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Now here's Trump talking about Iran. Let's watch this.
Are being wiped out. They're attacking their neighbors. They're attacking their, in some cases, allies, or not so long ago allies. And, you know, it's really a nation that was out of control, and they would have used it on us if we let them, if we waited any longer. A big factor was Soleimani, the killing of Soleimani in my first term. And maybe the biggest factor was the rebuilding of the military in my first term. And then the B-2s hit the, and I use the word obliterate because it really was, are being wiped out. They're attacking their neighbors. They're attacking their, in some cases, allies, or not so long ago allies. And, you know, it's really a nation that was out of control, and they would have used it on us if we let them, if we waited any longer. A big factor was Soleimani, the killing of Soleimani in my first term. And maybe the biggest factor was the rebuilding of the military in my first term. And then the B-2s hit the, and I use the word obliterate because it really was, are being wiped out. They're attacking their neighbors. They're attacking their, in some cases, allies, or not so long ago allies. And, you know, it's really a nation that was out of control, and they would have used it on us if we let them, if we waited any longer. A big factor was Soleimani, the killing of Soleimani in my first term.
All right, there we go. It looped. I didn't even realize it. So shout out to Trump. Shout out to Trump. Let's keep on going. All right. Now, why is there so much global unity against Iran?
Thank you, Mr. President. We've seen countries around the world, many of whom don't usually work together, working with the United States on Iran. whether it's, Saudi Arabia working with the United States, Israel, Qatari shooting down Iranian aircraft, and we've also seen European countries step up. Why are we seeing, such unity around the world against Iran?
That's a great point. Look, they're just evil. They're it's not the politics; it's their whole philosophy. It's their whole where they come from. It's terrible. Where they killed 35,000, I thought it was 32. Now it turns out it's much more than 35,000 people, and in some cases using machine guns with people that have no weapon. They have no weapon, and they're being machine gunned. They're being sniped from buildings. They're hitting the people with snipers right through the eyes. It's just a very evil ideology, and nobody's really seen anything like it. As I said, even the fact that they've attacked all of their neighbors, and the neighbors weren't attacking. They thought they'd maybe sit it out or what. They've hit Qatar. They've hit UAE, they've hit Saudi Arabia, they've hit Oman. They were helping us negotiate. They got hit. Everybody got hit because...
So the question would be, if they're hitting everybody, if Iran's hitting everybody in retaliation, who are the allies? Do they have any allies in the region, or are there only allies China or Russia? And where are China and Russia right now? I think China, as was the case in Venezuela, maybe even, well, not Cuba. I don't think Venezuela specifically, I think the Chinese had given them some kind of air defense system, which was useless. And the same thing with Iran. They had air defense, that these Chinese toys. Listen, I'm watching a lot of China Observer videos, and if you guys are not watching those, you should. But they're talking about the Chinese, they call this stuff like Timu military equipment, Timu equipment, because they have this system. Okay, it's impenetrable. Nobody can shoot you with this. This is going to be a rock solid missile defense system. And when they use it, it does nothing. It's basically trash. The same thing as everything else with China. It looks nice and glamorous and glitzy, but it's tofu construction at best. Same thing with the military equipment, but I digress.
They're evil and they're bad. It's a bad seed, and somebody had to do it. And it should have been done sometime during a 47-year period, because so much death has been caused by them, so much unbelievable death. From Germany too. Germany's been hit. Everybody's been hit by them. It's an evil ideology, and I've never been. Look, I've done a lot of good things. So many people are saying thank you, thank you, thank you. You see it in the streets of Los Angeles. They have thousands of people. I saw it the other day. Pictures of Donald Trump, and I'm looking. I'm on the phone, probably talking to you, and I'm looking, and I see my picture. I say, oh no, it's another, protest. I see and then I started saying, boy, they were very friendly people. And then I saw a woman hugging the picture of me. I said, what's going on? And it turned out to be these are Iranian people that live in the United States.
So many.
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands and thousands. So shout out to President Trump, and shout out to the orange glow. Hey, Gavin, you can never get the orange glow like Trump. Your glow look like it's pink, man. He got the orange. You can't do nothing with that. You got the gold. He matching the accoutrements in the Oval Office, bro. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. You could never. Gavin Newsom, I refuse. We're gonna get Bit Marco in there, and he's gonna set stuff straight. Okay. After Trump is finished, we're gonna get Marco or JD. Either way. Shout out to JD Vance. But let's keep on rocking and rolling here. All right. Speaking of Big Marco, now people are saying this clip is Marco Rubio admitting that Israel is the reason why we're fighting right now. Let's watch, shall we?
The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true, because in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act. Going back.
Exactly. I agree. So again, shout out to Marco Rubio. He is on point with that. He's on point. Now, some are saying that's him admitting that we hit them because of Israel. But see, no. What that clearly said is if anybody was to hit Iran, they're going to hit us regardless. So it don't matter. It don't matter if it was Israel or anybody else in the region. They're going to hit us. And this was a joint operation between the U.S. and Israel. When the news first broke, again, I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm on my phone scrolling before I go to bed. They said it was Israel, but then like a minute later, they said this is a joint effort between the U.S. and Israel. And when you look at how we prepared for this, the U.S. was already lining things up. So again, this was the Israelis helping us do what we were going to do regardless. And again, this is why the Israelis are called on when things like this happen, because they're the best class of European people in the world, in my humble opinion. Shout out to everybody else, wherever you're from, but they're the best. They're the best at doing stuff like this. And they're taking the most risk out of everybody because they're closest. But anyway, let's keep on going. I think this may be him addressing that comment, potentially. Let's watch it and see if it is.
Has not gone well for the United States.
What now?
Regime change has not gone well for the United States for many, many decades.
Okay, it's about regime change. The guy, if you didn't hear me, said regime change has not gone well for the United States. Let me start from the top and let's play it all the way through without me interrupting.
Has not gone well for the United States.
What now?
Regime change has not gone well for the United States for many, many decades. How do you assure the American public that things will not get worse for the next regime that comes in there and replaces the
Well, we would love to see this regime be replaced. And ultimately, as the president has said, he calls... No, but let me finish my answer. As the president has said, he would love for the people of Iran to use this as an opportunity to rise up and remove these leaders. They've been wanting to remove them from a long time. We've seen successive waves of protests, and we've seen them slaughter people. Okay? But the objective of this mission is to make sure they don't have these weapons that can threaten us and our allies in the region. That's why we're doing what we're doing now. And while we would love to see a new regime, the bottom line is no matter who governs that country a year from now, they're not going to have these ballistic missiles and they're not going to have these drones to threaten us. That's the objective of this mission, is to deny them the ability to use ballistic missiles to threaten their neighbors, to threaten our bases, to threaten our presence in the region, and ultimately as a shield behind which they can do whatever they want with their nuclear weapons ambition. We were not going to let them hide behind that, and that's why this was such a critical mission to undertake now while they were at their weakest point, and not a year from now where they could inflict even more damage and perhaps already be behind that point of immunity.
Okay, my thing about Marco, you gotta stay hydrated, bro, because you're still kind of like, I hear that quite a bit with people. You gotta stay hydrated, bro, because, and I recommend your diet. One thing that I would do is get rid of that coffee. If you're drinking coffee, it's going to dehydrate you. If you're drinking alcohol, that'll dehydrate you. Wine, liquor, any kind of alcohol dehydrates you. I say eat a lot of fruits and vegetables that have water in it. Now, somebody said Anthony Brian Loganstein, ABL, wants to get invited to Shabbat dinner. Okay. See, that's that retarded stuff, man. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't like talking to people that ain't got a whole lot going on. If you go like that, if you do the Indian head bob, you're going to be dice rolling. It's going to sound like this in your head. Anyway.
Congress.
It's just so silly. But let me just play a little bit more Marco. Marco's very sharp. Yes, he is. Now, somebody said water. Water is good, but hydrate your cells differently with the food. You know, tomatoes. Nice. Get you some tomatoes. Eat like 2 or 3 of them. Because y'all know me. I don't do a lot of that on my stream. I barely even drink any water on my stream. You got some guys be guzzling water all the stream. I don't do that. I might take one sip if I'm just dehydrated for some reason randomly, if I didn't eat properly today. But let's watch this. Again, more from Marco.
Congress. Our notification, listen, let me explain to you guys this in simple English, okay? Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and...
All right. That's kind of like, he's kind of be repetitive. Let me keep on moving here. Pardon me, I'm a little excited. Okay, here's what I wanted to show. This is from 2015. This is Marco Rubio in 2015. This is the one I want to show.
Let's see.
Okay. This is not a repeat, a loop, or nothing like that. This is 2015. Let's go to watch it.
Let's see. Would like to close on this matter. I think everything that needs to be said about the details of this deal have already been said. I do want to be recorded for history's purposes before I know what is going to happen in regards to this if it goes through. Iran will immediately use the money that it's receiving in sanctions relief to begin to build up its conventional capabilities. It will establish the most dominant military power in the region outside of the United States, and it will raise the price of us operating in the region. They're going to build anti-access capabilities, rockets capable of destroying our aircraft carriers and ships, continue to build these swift boats that are able to come on us, these fast boats that are able to swarm our naval assets. And they'll make it harder and harder for U.S. troops to be in the region. They'll also work with other terrorist groups in the region to target American servicemen and women. And they may or may not deny that they're involved, but they will target us and raise the price of our presence in the Middle East until they hope to completely pull us out of that region. They'll also continue to build long-range missiles, missiles capable of reaching the United States. Those are not affected by this deal, and they'll continue to build them as they've been doing. And then at some point in the near future, when the time is right, they will build a nuclear weapon. And they will do so because at that point they will know that they have become immune, that we will no longer be able to strike their nuclear program because the price of doing so will be too high. This is not just a work of imagination. It exists in the world today. It's called North Korea, where a lunatic possesses dozens of nuclear weapons and a long-range rocket that can already reach the United States.
So you see, he was way ahead of the game. He already knew what was happening. He already knew what was going on. This is, again, back in 2015. Okay, back in 2015. Let's keep on going here. Let's keep on going. All right, so here's Ilhan Omar talking about Iran. Let's see what she says. Let's see what she has to say about the whole situation.
Is unilaterally dragging this nation into an illegal and unjustified war with Iran. As someone who survived the horrors of war, I know that bombs do not build peace or create stability. Military strikes will not make us safer. They will inflame tensions and push the region further into chaos. Every time we abandon diplomacy, we choose destruction. We know who will bear the costs of this decision: innocent civilians caught in the crossfire and young service members sent into harm's way. The American people are exhausted by endless wars built on false promises and paid for with American and foreign lives. Congress must reassert its constitutional authority. I urge my colleagues to vote yes to stop U.S. involvement in another illegal forever war. Thank you, and I yield back.
All right, there we go. So some of you guys might say she's right. Some of y'all may say she's right. But the funny part about this is a lot of, look at her smiling. You know, she don't even really believe it. You know what's funny about this is that allegedly, some of the monies that the Somalis were stealing from Minnesota, the billions upon billions they were stealing, some of that went to Al-Shabaab, a terrorist organization in Somalia. So what are we talking about? You say no more forever wars, no more fighting, no more of this, but you guys are funding terrorists, allegedly. I'm just saying, make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense, so you can't make it make sense if it doesn't make sense. Now, and I don't want to say what I was going to say because the joke was right there in front of my face. It was right there. But I like Fetterman, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Let's hear from Fetterman, shall we?
And it's more just now because of that. What this happens, you don't have to agree on everything, but it's like, yes, I'm the only Democrat because I'm not afraid of my base to just say, you know what, this was overall a good thing. You don't have to agree on everything. So I'm going to be honest. So, like, why can't you just acknowledge that one of the most evil people on the face of the earth was erased? That's a good thing. And it's
all right. There we go. So that is John Fetterman, and this was about the whole Iran situation. All right. Shout out Fetterman. Shout out to him. All right. Now, this is going to be former Marine Sergeant. Let me say it one more time. It's going to be former Marine Sergeant Brian McGinnis standing up in Congress to protest. Let's watch some of this. because clearly he's protesting the war in Iran.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
Just a reminder to all our
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Hey, be careful. Watch.
No one wants to fight.
The hand is broke for real. Hey, that hand is tore to pieces. I don't know what kind of adrenaline you had going on. You probably didn't even feel it. When you got that adrenaline pumping and you got limbs snapping and stuff like that, it's like somebody on drugs. I'm not saying he's on drugs. I'm just saying it's like that. Somebody on PCP, man, they feel like they Superman. They broke all the limbs in their body. They don't care. They're going to keep on going. So, yeah, okay. Do you guys agree with this protest? I'm not just trying to show all the sunshines, rainbows, Iranians dancing, doing the Macarena and the YMCA. I'm not just trying to show that. I'm trying to show the whole thing. So you can say I'll be fair. I'll show all of it. But do you guys agree with my man who got his hand bent up like paper mache in that door? What do y'all think? Okay. Hey, could be. I'm not going to put that on him. So, again, this is former Marine Sergeant Brian McInnes, and you can clearly see that he was against the war in Israel. I mean, the war in Iran for Israel, according to him. He says his arm was broken, not just his hand, his whole arm. So I'm thinking like this whole portion right here was pretty much finished. Now, and I understand that some may agree with the protests. Do you think it should have been in uniform, especially as a former, not current, not active, former Marine Sergeant? Should he have been in uniform doing something like that? What do you guys think? 'Cause I know some of you guys with the military, it's, certain things like that, you got a strong opinion. Whether you support it or whether you don't support it, you have a strong opinion. So I want to hear from you guys. What's your opinion about that? All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, this is Caroline Levitt, because there's a story out there that we targeted a school, that we shot a school down. And it's weird because I keep seeing this story about the school that we supposedly hit, killing some girls in Iran or whatever, but I've not seen that much on mainstream media. What does that tell me? That tells me that it probably didn't happen, because if it did happen, it'd be all over the news 24/7, wouldn't it? That's what I'm thinking, but maybe I'm incorrect. Let's watch this, shall we?
Did the United States airstrike a girls' elementary school and kill 175 people?
Not that we know of, Sean, and the Department of War is investigating this matter, and I would just tell you very strongly, the United States of America does not target civilians, unlike the rogue Iranian regime that targets civilians, that kills children, that has killed thousands of their own people in the past several weeks, and uses propaganda quite effectively, and unfortunately many people in this room have fallen for that propaganda. So I would caution you from pointing the finger at the United States of America when it comes to targeting civilians, because that's not something that these armed forces do.
Did the United States...
All right, there we go. So she's saying, no, we didn't target that. That's not what happened. But there was some military stuff right close to that. So, I mean, if the military stuff got hit and then the school might have got some damage, I mean, that's one thing. But that's probably not what happened. Okay, let's keep on going.
Material.
Now they're saying, well, I ain't gonna play that. We don't gotta do that because that's kind of like speculative. Now, the Kurds are getting involved, the Iraqi Kurds, because the Kurds want their own thing. The thing about this area, there's always going to be fighting because there's so many little groups and they all want their own thing. Okay, you want the Kurdistan, you want this, you want that, you want this group want to have their own thing, and you got that group want their own religion. It's just so much. It's like where worlds meet. And where the worlds meet, where the East and the West meet, is going to be conflict. And I think that's part of the reason why there's so much conflict in that area. But again, the Iraqi Kurds have joined the fight for, well, not necessarily for the U.S., but they have their own thing they want to do. So they're doing this at the behest of the USA. Kind of a proxy a little bit, I would suppose. But let's watch this.
It's big. A U.S. official telling Fox thousands of Iraqi Kurds have launched a ground offensive in Iran. Decimated, destroyed, defeated. All words the Pentagon used to describe Iran's various military forces on day 5 of Operation Epic Fury. Moments ago, President Trump touting it's big.
All right, there we go. So I said the Iraqi Kurds have joined the fight. And the ship got sunk by a torpedo in the Indian Ocean near Sri Lanka. An Iranian ship got sunk by Sri Lanka, south of India, and the Pacific Ocean with a torpedo for the first time since, I believe, World War II. Yeah, first time since World War II in the Indian Ocean. All right, and we have video. Again, an Iranian ship got sunk in the Indian Ocean near Sri Lanka, south of India, with a torpedo for the first time since World War II. No sound, I suppose. But you can see the ship right there in the lower part of the frame. Wow, look at that. Yeah, that's crazy. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's run that back. Look at the front of the, or on the right hand side. I'm not sure if that's the front or the back, but look at it. And so you're gonna see it just like it's a sheet of paper or something, just curl up. So you see a fire on it already, and then boom. So there was a hit right there. You got a big splash of water as the vessel got displaced, and now you can see that it is sinking just that quick. So again, we hit it with a torpedo. First time since World War II. All right. Hey, I agree with you. Was that Sugoi? I know I told your name up, and I'm sorry. Says wars suck, but sometimes are necessary. That's what I'm saying. They're necessary sometimes. And again, if we don't strike, then we do wait on them to strike. And it's going to be worse when they do it. So either way, sometimes you can't avoid it. It's like you don't want to fight sometimes, but they keep pushing you. It's like, now you got to fight.
We didn't do it.
And speaking about that, right on time, I didn't even really know I had this right here. But here's Trump basically echoing my sentiments. If we don't start, then they start.
We didn't do it first. They would have done it to Israel and give us a shot if that was possible. And if we didn't terminate the worst deal, one of the worst deals ever made, the Obama nuclear deal, I call it the Obama nuclear deal, where he gave everything to Iran, including a nuclear weapon. It was a road to a nuclear weapon. Bad things would have happened 4 years ago because they would have had a weapon 4 years ago if I didn't terminate that deal. We didn't do it.
All right, there we go. So shout out Trump. And let's keep going. So this is going to be crew members aboard a commercial vessel filming a Tomahawk missile going across the horizon. All right, toward Iran, I suppose. Now, it's not going to hit them. They can just see it pass them.
Go, go, everyone. Here.
It's like watching the plane go by. Look, it's a bird, it's a plane, Tomahawk missile. You know how fast that is? Like, okay, think about an airplane. How fast are you going on an airplane? Let me just see, like, okay, airplane speed. So between 500 and 600 miles an hour, that's how fast your commercial airline is going. When you on Spirit, JetBlue, Delta, American Airlines, about 500 to 600 miles an hour. Okay, speeding. But when you see the airplane in the sky, it's like it's kind of just barely going along. You're not going to see an airplane do something like that. Think about how fast you got to be going to do that in the air. That's fast. Yeah, it's like Superman, Batman, Iron Man, not Batman. That's like Iron Man or Superman flying in the air in real life. I'm talking about Hawk missile. Okay, now speaking about airfare, air warfare, planes, etc. So apparently, what was it? Qatar that shot them down? Nah, it was Kuwait. So apparently the Kuwaiti Defense Forces accidentally shot down 3 American F-15s. Now, some are saying, how can this be? How can they actually shut them down? Well, I think what may have happened is they had a defense system that was automatic in nature. Like it just automatically did that. Okay, there's a threat. We got a problem. Anything in the air, shoot it down automatically. Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know everything. But anyway, they said it was an accident. Kuwait shot down 3 American F-15s. And you can see one going down right here. Check it out.
لا والله حربية طيارة حربية طيارة حربية شوف
You're fine.
Now, before they showed the person, one of the people that ejected, all 6 people, you had 2 passengers in both, all 6 of them ejected safely. Nobody was killed, and I don't think there was any injuries as far as I know, but they're all alive. They all ejected successfully from the actual aircraft before it crashed.
You're fine? Really? You need something to help you? No problem, you're safe. You're safe. Everything good? No problem. Thank you for helping us. Everything perfect?
Okay, so Tomahawk missile actually going the same as the airplane, but it's just flying lower than the airplane would. But you can see they didn't want to actually do anything to her. They didn't want to attack her because they probably know, okay, it's a woman. It's not an Iranian person doing that as a woman. They know that's an American right away. And we are allied with the Kuwaitis, so it's okay. Yes, Kuwait does owe us a few F-15s. They do. They do. And here's another person who was a male who was aggressed a little bit aggressively because he's a man. So right away, you're not really sure if you're talking about an Iranian fighter, an American fighter, or something else. But I'm pretty sure they knew if it's a woman, yeah, that's an American because the Iranians ain't going to do that.
Go! Done! محمد ارجع يا محمد
All right, there we go. So that's what happened. They approached him kind of like, hey, man, what's going on? What are you doing? But it was okay. They realized this is an American, not trying to fight, whatever. Okay, it's all right. So as far as I know, all the Americans, they're good. Everybody that ejected from their craft, they're good. Now, this person is talking about the Muslim takeover of Iran. This is a woman talking about how she's an ex-Muslim and risking her life now to speak out against the regime, speaking out against the religion.
Arrested, put in prison, raped, lashed, sold to marriage, turned into a sex slave, broken into pieces, shattered. Thanks to America, I was able to build myself back up. But I am being called today an Islamophobe. Correct me if I'm wrong, a phobia is an irrational fear, isn't it? After everything that has happened to me, I don't know how they even have the nerve to tell me my fear is irrational. I kept on studying it because something just wouldn't click. I kept reading the book. I kept studying Muhammad. I kept reading the Hadith. I kept reading the Reliance of the Traveler. I kept studying all this, and the more I studied, the more I realized this cannot be a religion. The best I can go with, it's an ideology. The Quran can't even make a single decision. On one verse, if a woman commits adultery, she should be killed. On another verse, should be lashed 100 times. In Quran, a Christian and a Jew can pay the jizya, protection money, and become a second-class citizen and live life. On another verse, a Jew and a Christian are enemy of Allah. There are so many contradictions in this book. I'm like, why is it that nobody's asking the question? Why is it no practicing Muslim is standing and say, wait, why do we see so many different decisions, so many different circumstances, so many different scenarios in our book?
So there you go. You can kind of see like there's an issue with Islam. Everybody's not wanting to be up underneath it. And my thing is, if you want to be under Islam, if you want that to be your religion, if you want that to be your home base of your faith, then that's fine. But when it's forced on you, when you have no choice in the matter, now you got an issue. Now you got a big issue. Everybody doesn't want that. And with that comes civil unrest at a certain point. And then the unrest is silenced with violence. As the religion spread, the dissent is spread the same way. As the religion spread, the dissent is dealt with in the same way, violence. Now, this is going to be a 34-year-old Donald Trump in the year 1980. Yes, 1980. So you're talking about, what, 46 years ago? Okay, talking about the Iran crisis. Well, this is the Iran hostage crisis.
When you get the respect of the other countries, then the other countries tend to do a little bit as you do, and you can create the right attitudes. The Iranian situation is a case in point. That they hold our hostages is just absolutely and totally ridiculous. That this country sits back and allows a country such as Iran to hold our hostages, to my way of thinking, is a horror. And I don't think they'd do it with other countries. I honestly don't think they'd do it with other countries.
Obviously, you're advocating that we should have gone in there with troops, etc., and brought our boys out.
I absolutely feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind. I think right now would be an oil-rich nation, and I believe that we should have done it, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't do it, and I don't think anybody would have held us in abeyance. I don't think anybody would have been angry with us, and we had every right to do it at the time. I think we've lost the opportunity.
All right. And again, this is President Trump back in 1980, way before he was a president, at 34 years old, talking about the Iran hostage crisis. Okay. So there we go. Looking
when
he looked like everybody. He looked like Eric, Barron, not so much Don Jr., a little bit of Don Jr. in there, but definitely Barron. I see a lot of Barron and Eric, but more than anybody, I probably would say, or maybe even Tiffany. Tiffany Trump looked just like her right there in this particular video. So shout out to President Trump. I mean, he pretty much he stayed consistent. That's one thing about it. All right. Yeah, look a lot like Barron. Look a lot like Barron. Okay. Now, I got to play the view, and I apologize for playing the view, but I got to play this because I saw it. I was like, nah, we got to show this. So they say it's worse to be black in America than to live under the Iranian regime. Okay. Hey, they're saying it's worse being black in America than to live under the Iranian regime. I'm not quite sure I buy into that too much, but let's watch, shall we?
Just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start.
Hold on. Before I begin, is there a spammer in here? Please identify the spammer. Please identify the spammer, because I don't see the spammer. because it's so much stuff happening. I can't really see it. Let me see if I can see it right now before I play this video. Okay. I don't think I see the person. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Identify the spammer, please, if you can. Let me just play this right quick, and we'll get back to that when we get back to that.
Let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is today.
The car, Whoopi Goldberg, really? Is that when's the last time that's happened? Have you ever heard about something like that ever happening in your life?
I'm sorry. They used to just keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Tehran.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you're talking about lynching and stuff like that. Don't nobody get lynched. Like, you got to start bringing up this stuff from 75 or 80 years ago. This is 2026. Let's talk about what's happening right now. The reality of the world right now. USA versus Iran. Where'd you rather be? As a woman, especially. The choice is obvious.
I'm sorry.
I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally.
And a spammer got. So thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's back to the predator. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg talking, and then we're going to continue. I promise we're going to be done in a second. I promise I will.
Said it was up to the Iranian people.
Yes,
it is up to them.
And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference.
Okay. I get the point. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you look at what's happening in the USA, flaws and all, currently, not during slavery time, Whoopi Goldberg, look at what's happening right now in the USA versus Iran, Persia, whatever you want to call it. Ain't no comparison. We the best, and everybody know it. So shout out Whoopi Goldberg and everybody on The View, but we're done with that. Now let's hear from an Iranian woman in LA. Let's hear from her. She's actually a refugee from Iran because it was a humanitarian crisis years before, now, and in a year since. It's been a humanitarian crisis, but let's watch.
CNN and some fake news I don't
No.
It's like Christmas. We are so happy here. It's 47 years, all the Iranian, we've never been, in the history, we've never been Muslim. We are not and we won't be. And it's the biggest threat every country can face to it. And I want to say we are so happy we are kicking out the mullahs and we will take back our monarchy and our dignity. CNN and...
Okay, there we go. So a little bit of something from her. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. So God. Let's talk about my man right here with the Iranian flag on, saying, hey, our first flag is the USA. Again, man has the Iranian flag on. He says, our first flag is the USA. Check it out.
So God bless America. We love America. We respect the flag. This is our second flag. Our first flag is the flag of the United States of America. God bless America. God bless all of you. God bless our army, our navy, and whoever participating in this. And I pray in the name of Jesus, all of you guys to come back home safe. And again, we love you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. God bless America. And we love the flag of this country. Thank you so much.
There we go. Right on it. Yeah, I appreciate that because even in the crowd, he's not just talking. You see American flags, Iranian flags. I think I see some where it's like a combination of maybe an American flag and an Iranian flag. I like it because you know where you're from. You got your ancestry, a very long history, thousands upon thousands of years. They have a history. Many of them had to leave or they left it on their own accord, whatever the case may be, but they still love where they're from. And they want the best for where they're from. So, again, shout out to my man supporting the USA and his country of origin or his ancestral homeland. Okay, let's keep on going here. What? So this guy, he black, but he's married to an Iranian woman. So here's his perspective.
Well, it took certain presidents to have the guts to do what he's doing. So I think he's doing a good job.
You don't appear to be Iranian.
No, I'm not. I'm American.
But you're still out here celebrating.
Yeah, I'm celebrating because the Iranian people need their freedom, you know. So, and then my wife's Iranian as well.
What would you want to say to President Trump?
Thank you, and he's doing a good job. You know, it took a lot of presidents. Well, it took certain presidents to have the guts to do what he's doing. So I think he's doing a good job. Well, it took.
There we go. So yeah, it did take guts because you're going to get a lot of negativity, a lot of criticism for doing this. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who was in office. They were going to take a hit for this. And you're doing it right before the midterm elections. That could really impact you in a negative way. That could definitely impact you. And we'll get to some election talk later. We saw Jasmine Crockett lose. I figured she would lose, just not so early. We'll get to that a little bit more a little bit later. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. And where we at?
I was born in 19...
Okay, this woman is talking about Iran from her perspective. And she was born, as you heard right there, in 1979, right when the revolution kicked off, which changed Iran into what we see today.
I was born in 1979, the year of the revolution. Pre-revolution, if you look at, our family photo album, it was very European. Iran was very much into food, having a good time. We hear stories from our parents of like 6-day-long events and parties they would have. Think of a very European, very modern, very educated, kind, generous, accepting, diverse group of people in Iran. They're wearing high fashion, they're in mini skirts. So imagine going from that to what we see now. Islamists using women's bodies as a literal symbol of their control over the people. You don't have a choice whether you wear a hijab or not, as we saw with Mahsa Amini, who was wearing a hijab, but 1 inch of her hair was showing, and she was beat up and eventually murdered for that by the morality police. I know people talk about in North Korea that there's a saying that the birds are listening, and it's very similar to that in Iran right now. You don't have freedom to say what you think because you don't know if your next door neighbor is going to report you to the Islamists and what's going to happen to you. You're not free like you are here in America to go and protest without consequence. We saw what happened with the Zan Zandagi Azadi protests, where they raped the young girls and killed them. And why did they rape them? Because if you're a virgin and you die, you go to heaven. So they have to rape you before they kill you to prevent you from going to heaven. This is the mentality of the Islamic Republic.
Exactly. That's how they are. It's kind of like, it's barbaric. It's back in the Stone Age. Now, I saw a comment I wanted to comment on. Somebody said that she was referring to European as being successful. Well, I mean, they do look kind of European. They look like ABBA. They look like Europeans. It is what it is. Okay. And they are not that far away. As I said from the beginning, Iran is kind of like where worlds merge, where the East and the West kind of connect. You got a lot of your traditional look, your traditional way of living, but you have influence from Europe is right there. Okay. And then you have China, Russia, all that's right there too. So you're like right there, right in the middle of everything. So they do look kind of European. I mean, come on. Like, look at this. Like what are we talking about? This look like if not for them being brown skin, this could be somewhere in Europe at that same time, or even in the USA. So she was correct about that. But the Islamists don't want that. They want things to be different. They want things to go another way. Now, this woman says that Democrats are brainwashed. Okay, they're brainwashed because they believe whatever they want and not necessarily the reality on the ground. Oh, you want disagreeing? Oh, okay, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I got triggered. My bad.
Democrats are brainwashed. I don't understand how you guys can support the killing of 40,000 people over the past 3 weeks, but yet when Trump bombs Iran, this is what they were asking for. They were asking to be bombed so that the government can go away. Now you guys are upset that like an elementary school of children was killed. Well, what about all the 40,000 people that were killed before? This doesn't make any sense. You guys are fake humanitarians and you guys are brainwashed. It's delusional. You guys don't make sense.
There you go. Right on point. Right on point. Shout out to her. Very good points that were made right there. Let's keep on going. Now, one thing I noticed is a lot of women speaking. That's like really common. Maybe the men don't speak as much. I'm not really sure. But here's a man talking. Let's hear from him. You might have seen this in my compilation video I did with everybody talking about the situation. But let's hear it right now. Then we're going to keep on rocking and rolling.
The Ayatollah Khamenei has officially been killed by the U.S. in assistance with Israel. Thank you, President Trump. I've believed in you from the start. I had the faith. I knew you could do it. I've got some beef with Netanyahu, but I do appreciate their assistance in this operation. I was raised to believe that it is indecent for a man to celebrate another man's death, no matter how evil. So I shall not celebrate Khamenei's death. For now, his name shall never be spoken of again. He is history. He is gone. But I'm at a loss for words, because guess what, guys? Never in my lifetime did I think I'd see a free Iran, even with all the fighting. And now, I get to take my paralyzed father home to his true home. The home he recognizes before those terrorist fucking monsters took over.
Right on. So shout out to my man. I apologize for the cussing, but he's right on point. Listen, a lot of people were forced away from their home when the revolution happened. When the Islamists took over, they were forced from their home. They say, hey, you know what? Either you're going to adhere to what we got going on, you're going to adhere to this religion, you're going to do what we say, follow our lead, or you can get up out of here. You can leave. You can be exiled. And a lot of Iranians were forced to leave. That could be his father. So shout out to him for appreciating what we did for the Iranian people. And not just for them, but for us and for a lot of other people as well. For the whole world, really. Now, some people say, well, you don't have anybody in Iran, ABL. These guys are in Iran. Okay. That's what they say, and I believe them. Let's watch.
From inside of Tehran, we thank you, President Trump. You asked us yesterday what was our reaction, people of Iran. I will say you did. We're gonna pay with our life. We are gambling here our life, taking this video message. Just keep bombing these motherfuckers. We're gonna take our country back.
A little bit of that Ric Flair going on. I'm with it. In the Trump dance. Okay. I want to get the music copyright, so I'm going to turn down a little bit. But yeah, everybody's out there doing the YMCA dance in Tehran at risk, because you could have the regime right there. They could be listening. They could be watching. So they're most certainly in danger to do something like this. Let me turn it down. They got a picture of... So they had a picture, I suppose, of Ahmadinejad, the Ayatollah who got deleted, and then they set it up, hit a little golf swing, knocked him out of there. So I think they're happy with what happened. I think they're pretty happy with what happened. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. All right, let's keep rolling here. And let's go to Anthropic, because this is kind of involved with Iran, because the attack on Iran, the initial one, and maybe subsequent attacks, were fueled with artificial intelligence. And in this case, they were using Anthropic AI, a government version of Anthropic's AI. And if you don't know Anthropic, the company, they're behind Claude. OpenAI is behind ChatGPT. And I think what happened is that Anthropic did not want the United States to do certain things with the AI. They had certain red lines they had drawn. They said it can't be used for fully autonomous weaponry, meaning weapons act on their own without human intervention, or surveilling American citizens. But the government is like, yo, you guys trying to put restrictions on this. We don't want to have to answer to you when we do certain things, because you're going to be part of the government at that point. all the government said is we're going to be lawful in what we do. We're not going to do things that are violating the rules, like the laws we have in the books. But Anthropic said we don't really believe that. But see, that's going to be a problem, because how you going to tell me? Like, if I'm the government and I say we following the law, how can you say as a private citizen that you're not following the law and then prevent me from doing what I need to do with this product? If that's the case, then we're not going to force you. We're going to go to a different direction. Now, that's kind of what I am reading from this. A lot of you guys are smarter than I am. A lot of AI guys out there, military guys, government guys. You guys are big brains. So you may know more than I do, but let's watch this. Let's get some sound right quick. That can help. That could help.
The U.S. military attacks on Iran were carried out with the help of artificial intelligence tools from the tech company Anthropic, after the Pentagon announced it was ending their partnership. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. The Pentagon says it has no comment. Anthropic is the company behind the popular AI assistant Claude. The military used a government version for its intelligence and cyber operations, but decided to give it up after a disagreement with Anthropic over limits on how it could be used. Senior business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent spoke exclusively with the company's CEO before the United States launched its attacks on Iran.
We sat down with Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei just hours after the Pentagon's deadline to strike a deal with the company over how their AI is deployed by the U.S. military.
It's about the principle of standing up for what's right.
The Pentagon wants total access without restrictions. Anthropic wants limits on mass surveillance of Americans and fully autonomous weapons. The central question, who should have the final say in how one of the world's most powerful AI is used by the world's most powerful military?
Do you think that Anthropic knows better than the Pentagon here?
One of the things about a free market and free enterprise is different folks can provide different products under different principles. Our model has a personality. It's capable of certain things. It's able to do certain things reliably. It's able to not do certain things reliably. And I think we are a good judge of what our models can do reliably and what they cannot do reliably.
President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth both posted on social media Friday, calling for all government agencies to stop using Anthropic's AI. Just hours before U.S. strikes on Iran.
I think it was made very clear in some of their statements, in some of their language, that this was retaliatory and punitive.
If you had a moment with the president right now, what would you say to him?
We are patriotic Americans. We have done everything we have done has been for the sake of this country, for the sake of supporting U.S. national security. We believe.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being a patriot and supporting us, but you can't really say what they do with that if it's legal. And if you want to do that, then you're just in the way. And they got to find a different direction to go in. Because, as I said from the beginning, if you have that say-so, then that makes you part of the government and nobody elected you. Okay, so if the feds want to just hit that button on Iran, they got to call Dario Amodei talking about, yo, can we do that? Do we have your blessing, sir?
In defeating our autocratic adversaries, we believe in defending America. The red lines we have drawn, we drew because we believe that crossing those red lines is contrary to American values. Disagreeing with the government is the most American thing in the world. And we are patriots. In everything we have done here, we have stood up for the values of this country.
So what do y'all think? Is he right? Is he wrong? I mean, he could be right. He could be right about disagreeing with the government. Yeah, that's totally fine. Because when Biden was in office, y'all know, and I know you guys did not agree with what he was doing. The border being wide open, we did not agree with that. There were things that are being done, even right now with the war. You can disagree with the government, and that's fine, but you can't control the government. All you can do as a private citizen is vote for who you want to vote for, and hopefully they do the thing that you want them to do. And if they're not doing what you want them to do, then you lobby them, you try to make them do it through different ways, but you can't physically control them. Okay, Trump does not call ABL on the phone talking about something. Yeah, we about to hit Iran, kind of get your blessing. Nah, we vote for what we want to vote for, and they do what they're going to do. Hopefully, when we vote for them to make the right decisions, rather than making the wrong decisions. That's all we can pray for. And guess what? They're not going to be in there forever. This is not Iran or some place like that where you got General butt naked in there for 20 years at a time. He be in there his whole life. When he start, he's a soldier. He start as a child soldier and when he's 100 years old. This ain't that kind of place. You got a 4-year term as a president. That's it. You get reelected, you got one more 4-year term. And after that, next guy. So we have some power in this country to change things if we don't like it. But what we can't do is control them directly. And if a private company could control the government, what would you call that? That's like that whole thing with Halliburton and whatnot back in the George W. Bush days when we said they controlled him because of the Iraq war. They did that because military-industrial complex wanted to make some money. Okay, they wanted to come out. They wanted to get some money, so they sent us off to war for 20 years for that purpose. We didn't like it back then, and we shouldn't like it right now. But on a lighter note, the Cubans are like, yo, come on, Trump. Come on. It's about that time. Come. Hey, we saw what you did for Venezuelans, Maduro. We saw what you did with the Iranians. You deleted Ahmadinejad, the Ayatollah Khamenei, all these guys. Okay, we saw that. Now, can you come get us, please? We got a little bit of a rally right here for that purpose. All right, there we go. So shout out to the Cubanos. Shout out to Cuba. Shout out to everybody that picked the panty in the chat. Okay, shout out to all the Hispanics in the chat, all the Latinos, Dominicans, me no black, all y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, Mom Donnie, okay, Daddy Warbucks, well, not for real. You Daddy Warbucks, you the citizen. Hey, you living in New York and you pay taxes, you actually work for a living. You the sucker right now because all this free money, quote unquote, is going to those who don't work and it will come straight from your pocket. You the sucker for working. But anyway, so here's Mom Donnie announcing, quote unquote, free childcare. As a matter of fact, before we do that, I have one more thing about Iran. This is going to be from Mom Donnie talking about Iran. Then we're going to just go into the whole thing about the free, quote unquote, free childcare. All right. And here we go. Let's let it rock. I got to sneeze right here. Hold on. Excuse me.
I've said before that
wow, the sound. I mean, good grief. Come on. Mom Donnie, can you get your AV guy on the job? I can't hear nothing. Okay. And RIP in advance to the headphone users if it's going to be too loud at a certain point.
I've said before that the Iranian government has engaged in systematic repression of its own people, even killing thousands of Iranians who were seeking to express the most basic forms of dissent earlier this year. It is a brutal government. Okay,
there we go. So he's saying it's a brutal government. He didn't get too deep into it right there in that particular clip, but that's not necessarily important. Let's get to the whole thing about the quote unquote free childcare and how it will not be free, and how you are going to pay for it if you're living in New York. All righty, let's go ahead and check it out.
What we are rolling out today is for parents of 2-year-olds in the neighborhoods that we have listed.
Let me start from the top. RP to the headphone users.
What we are rolling out today is for parents of 2-year-olds in the neighborhoods that we have listed. It covers the neighborhoods that I've said, as well as parts of other neighborhoods that are covered within the school districts, the chancellor said. All that is required is that parents live within that school district, no matter the amount of money they make, the occupation they have, their immigration status. So long as they live there, they can apply. The application process will become open sometime in early summer. And then next year, we will be announcing additional neighborhoods and school districts that this will apply to. It will extend beyond these sets of districts. And one thing that I can tell you for certain is that it will also extend into Staten Island. What we are rolling.
Okay, so again, this program will cost $75 million for the first year. And for the second year, $490 million. Okay, so yes, it's free, but you got to pay for it. hey, it's free, but it's going to cost $500 million. There you go. That's not free. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You're not paying for it directly. You're just paying for it through your taxes. And it won't even affect everybody, just a few people. You might not even get it. That'd be the funny part. You could pay more in taxes and you don't get the free childcare as a result, because that'll go to those who make less money than you. Socialism, but that's what they wanted. Hey, you know what? If they want socialism, let them have it. Let them have it. Let them experience it. And then they'll see what it is. They'll see how this does not help them. They'll see how this is going to be a bad decision. But you know what? That's their bad decision to make. So it is what it is. You got to love America, right? Hey, in America, you have the freedom to be retarded if you want to. Okay? You got the freedom to fake. Like, I ain't going to say that. You have the freedom to fake like you got a Tourette syndrome or something like this. You could just go out there and say, You could just say that and be like, you know what? My bad. I got Tourette's. It's okay. You can do that. Now, I don't got to believe you, but you can do it. Anyway, let's keep on going here. All right, let's keep on going. So actually, it's 73 million from Albany, from New York State. So if you're in the whole state of New York, this is going to be your bill. 73 million from Albany, the capital. And then the next year is 425 million. Okay, it includes illegal aliens, and it's about 2,000 kids, only for 2-year-olds in 4 neighborhoods. So there you go. There's your free child care for you, okay? Okay, now look. Here's a good video. This could be the future of New York. And more things than this is going to happen, but this is going to be part of it. Now, in San Francisco, they successfully drove all the black people out, okay? And quite frankly, a lot of regular Americans, whether you white, black, or candy stripe, Puerto Rican, because the thing about California is that it is majority, quote unquote, minority, majority Hispanic. Where are all the white folks at? Where are all the black folks at? I don't know. But my man right here is going to give you, an explanation, or he's going to talk about how the black folks are removed from San Francisco.
San Francisco is on the verge of being the first city to successfully remove black people legally. You understand what I'm saying? They did it in a very passive aggressive way. They did it with a smile on their faces. And this is why I'm bipartisan. I'm for whatever is right. I don't care if it's a Democrat, a Republican, a liberal, a Green Party. Whatever's right is what I'm with. Because for years, for decades, people have said, oh, they for the people, they for the people. And I'm not talking about the administration that's there right now. I'm talking about dating back to the 90s. Come to the city, come to San Francisco. It's liberal. They like black people. They like black people. Then why they getting rid of all the black people? You understand what I'm saying? Racism, that's a understatement. So in San Francisco, they don't serve you racism with a hard ER. They serve you racism with a, hey, what's up, bro? Once upon a time, we had a white population of hippies. They was going crazy. They was waking it up. You feel me? They was vibing with us. They was the ones that was really genuinely happy to see us here and building with us. But what they did is they had all of these outsiders come from I don't know where. They brought their racism with them, bro, and they infiltrated every space in the city, from cannabis to politics to businesses, everything that you can think of, education. They bring their racism, they amped it up. This is one of the most racist cities to be in, hands down.
100% correct, 100% correct. And you know what? I felt that when I was in LA. I felt that. Certain parts of this country, not black friendly. California, in my opinion, if you are a rich white person, it's like Mexico. Basically, I said it before. In Mexico, you have your Cancun, Tulum, whatnot for the rich tourists. They want to cater to the whites out there. If you're a black person, they don't really want you like that because they think automatically there's going to be some problems. Okay, and I'm not saying we don't commit issues, we don't do things, but that's what they think. So they don't want you in California, and if you're a white person and you're poor, you're not really the focus either. They want you to be having money. And if you don't have money, if you're not grinding and going hard and getting it, you get pushed out. In favor of the H-1Bs, the whole Latin America, to the point where the blacks and the whites are becoming extinct because you having population loss in California, ask this question. What is the number one race? And I don't know the answer to it, but you guys are smart. You probably would know. What is the number one race leaving California? I want to know. Is it the Hispanics? Is it the whites? Is it the blacks? Let me know. Let me know. Give me something. But yeah, California is like that. And San Fran, that's like the belly of the beast. I said it before. That's the belly of the beast of liberalism. Yeah, that's how they are. Okay, now let's get to the deposition with the Clintons. Did you guys see this? This is all over the internet now. I put it on the short. YouTube does not like shorts for some reason. But they do, but they don't. I gotta show it to you like this so you can really see it. So, did you guys see this? So here's Bill Clinton looking at some pictures and some emails or whatnot with his lawyers. One on one side, one on the other side. Now, the woman, watch her specifically, because she's going to take this away from him because she sees him looking at it like fondly, reminiscing. Oh, I remember her. She was a nice guy. Oh, I remember her. He doing all that. And, you know, your lawyer is going to stop you from doing stuff like that because they know how it looks. They will tell you to say certain things, to don't talk too much, don't do this, don't do that, because they are there for your best interest. That's what they get paid to do. Okay? So you're going to see her intervene, and you're going to see him react to her intervention. Let's watch.
Let me see it. Okay.
Mr. President, we have about 5 minutes remaining in the majority's first hour, so I just want to ask you some questions related to the crimes committed by Mr. Epstein and Miss Mack.
He was reminiscing. He was like, you know what, man, I remember these days, the good old days, me and Jeff hanging out. He was reminiscing. So it's like, and you can't even hide your face. Bill Clinton got to be what, like 85? How old is Bill Clinton now? Bill Clinton is 79. He'll be 80 in August. I thought he was a little bit older than that. 79, he'd be 80 in August. Looking like he just, saw a high school yearbook, photo album from a vacation that is his favorite vacation. That's what it looked like. And a lawyer was trying to say, come on now, stop. He would, let me see it. Let me see it. Come on, don't take it from me now. I want to keep. Sir, we can see you. You're on camera. He don't care. He don't care. Now look. He did say some things during deposition. One thing he said was about J.B. Pritzker. He said that he was on the plane, Jeffrey Epstein's plane, with the current governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. Let's watch.
It's on here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Was Jeffrey Epstein on? You apparently took 26 flights on planes connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Was he on every flight you were on?
Was he on every flight I was on? That's a good question.
If you know.
What?
If you know, their flight manifest, do you know?
There'll be a record of it, but I think he was, or certainly on most.
You think he was? Well, that's okay. Was Ghislaine Maxwell on every flight you were on, as far as you remember?
The same answer. I think she was, but there'll be a record of it.
Okay. When you took these flights, you're saying a lot of them were on behalf of your foundation or your charitable work, correct?
Yes.
Who did you normally bring on these flights? I assume, employees of the foundation, whatever.
I brought people who worked with me, especially people who would have to follow up on the fundraising or people who were involved in my AIDS work. I bought people who...
Just like I never go anywhere alone. You never went anywhere alone, right?
What? No.
We always have an
And I had the Secret Service with me. And then on occasion, I had people who had volunteered to help us and wanted to see what we were doing. For example, I think it was on one of these trips, I think, that I had my first trip for the man who's now the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, and his wife. They helped me get started.
See, now look, the funny part is the Epstein files people, not all of you guys who follow that a lot. And just by the way, I think the whole Epstein thing is a distraction because it ain't nothing there. All that's going to happen is people going to start telling, well, you were on the plane and you were on the plane. Now, what did they do on the plane? Who knows? Anybody going to tell that part? Maybe they did something. Maybe they did nothing, but they were on the plane. But just for being there, that's going to stain you if you are worthy of being stained. If you are someone who is a target of staining. Does that make sense? For example, Donald Trump. Anytime he's in the Epstein files, they're using it against him. J.B. Pritzker was on the plane according to Bill Clinton right here. And then nothing happened because J.B. Pritzker is a Democrat. He's on the side of the left. So the leftists won't do much. It's just like the protests. You got protests for Alex Pretty, Renee Nicole Good, because the left are against ICE. They want ICE out because that's removing their slave labor from this country. And now that kind of hurt their economy in their states. Minnesota is pretty much a slave state still in 2026, which is crazy. Hey, how are you going to be a slave state, Minnesota, in 2026? I thought the North were the ones who were against slavery back then. I can't tell. But anyway, so they're going to pay for the protesters to be out there to keep the slave labor intact. However, for the Epstein files, they're not going to protest for that to get out there. Thou not protest too much. You know how it go. They will not protest too much because the Epstein files are going to implicate them. Why would they protest for a thing that'd get them in trouble, that'd get them embarrassed? They're not going to do it. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Okay, now look. Here's J.B. Pritzker responding to what happened. And RIP in advance to the headphone users. But let's watch this.
I had never met Jeffrey Epstein. I was never on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I was never on any plane with Jeffrey Epstein or with Ghislaine Maxwell. Never met her. But you know who did? You know who palled around with both of them? Donald Trump.
It was like a joke, like SNL. I felt the punchline coming, but bro. So you say you were not on the plane with Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, never met Ghislaine Maxwell, never met Jeffrey Epstein. Well, Bill Clinton said something else, so who's telling the truth? Why would Bill Clinton say that if it's not true? He said he thinks, but if you are not sure, then why would you say it? If you're not sure with at least 80-90% certainty, then why would you say it? In a deposition, no less, and with lawyers on you. You're not going to say that. He said not only J.B. Pritzker, he was very specific. He said J.B. Pritzker, the current governor of Illinois, and his wife. J.B. saying, hey, man, it wasn't me. I don't know what he's talking about. Not me, bro. I was not on the plane. I never met him. Oh, okay. Somebody's lying. I don't know who it is, but somebody's lying. That's all I'm saying. And one thing that I detest is a liar. Okay, now, Tampon Tim was in a deposition because of how much of a mess Minnesota is. Again, a slave state, like I said earlier, a slave state still in 2026. Now, she's going to question Tim Walz about all these payments from the autism program, how it jumped from 1.09 million in 2017 to 343.17 million in 2024. I mean, so how does it drop? How does it jump that much? Again, basically 1 billion. That's a B. Not 1 million. I'm right. $1 million in 2017 to 343 million and change in 2024. Let's watch.
How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you
I
do
did.
any preparation
I take
for this hearing
Congress
today?
seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready? How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me. As
Were you governor in 2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024 as governor, and you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024. What percent increase is that from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
Are you governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am. I'm not.
Well, when
not
I'm
a prop
governor of
for a
South
member
Carolina,
Congress.
you can sure as hell bet that I'm going to know the math. The math is 34,200% increase, an increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as a top 3 state for children in the
What is the total
last year.
population in Minnesota?
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right
Are
now.
you governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last
Okay,
week by
that's
the
not-
actions you made.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I am.
And you don't know the number of children
I
residing
don't have
in
the
Minnesota?
specific numbers.
All right, there we go. That's Tad Parham, governor of Minnesota, ladies and gentlemen. That is your governor. Hey, somebody said it. This guy could have been the VP. Imagine that. Hey, we dodged a bullet like Superman. A speeding bullet right past us, like Trump did when, Pennsylvania happened. Shout out to the president. Orange man good. But yeah, that could have been a mess, though. Imagine him as a vice president. Imagine Kamala as a president. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness gracious. That would have been a complete dumpster fire. Imagine her State of the Union address. It would have been a mess. Matter of fact, she would have had like a podcast or something like that. It would have been like a little 2-minute clip for her State of the Union address. She couldn't have been up there for no 2 hours talking. Nah, it would have been a mess. Anyway, now, speaking about women in politics, Jasmine Crockett. So you guys may have seen my video where Jasmine Crockett has lost her bid to become the Democratic Party's nominee in the U.S. Senate race in Texas. She was going up against James Tallarico. I remember that guy. That's the guy that got interviewed by Stephen Colbert, and they didn't interview her. And then they pulled it voluntarily, talking about, oh, Donald Trump doesn't want you to see this. Donald Trump doesn't want you to know that I'm the up-and-coming guy, and I'm famous, and I'm pretty, and I'm going to be the president one day, blah, 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 blah. Right? Really what they did was violate the rule from the FCC intentionally that says you must give candidates equal time, meaning if you give James Tallarico an interview on air, you gotta also interview Jasmine Crockett. They didn't do that on purpose, anticipating the FCC would act. They filmed the interview as if it had already happened, as if it had already been a thing the FCC did against them. And then they came out later and said, well, we had to put it on YouTube because the FCC blocked it. Anyway, here is Jasmine Crockett talking about some funny business going on with the Republicans in Texas as it relates to the election that may have cost her the election.
Already.
And let's watch this right quick. Here we go.
Red has already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote. Stand in line, wait in line. Red has already. All
right, there we go. So now what she's talking about is when she's talking about cheating and whatnot, there was a recent law that was passed in Texas that divides a primary between Democrat and Republican. So if you want to vote Democrat, you go over here. Republican, you go over there. Now, what happened in Texas is that some were confused by this, and they said this caused long lines because people went to their polling place and it was the wrong place. They had to go somewhere else. Because at one point you could go anywhere and just vote. Now you got to go to the neighborhood polling place. It's like that here in Tennessee. You get a polling place that's like in your neighborhood. You got to go there. Now, as a result of the change, people got confused. They went to the wrong place. So in some parts of the state, like let's say, for example, Dallas County, originally they had petitioned to get 2 extra hours just for the Democrats, but not for the Republicans. So initially, according to the rule that was up, Democrats would have closed at 9, Republicans would have closed at 7. Is that fair? No, it wasn't. So it was struck down by the Texas Supreme Court. Now, let's go to Williamson County. This is a majority white place, unlike Dallas. Now, they were open until 10 p.m. But guess what? There was a request that allowed Democrats and Republicans to be open that late. Not just Republicans and not just Democrats, both. And that was upheld. If the original request in Dallas County was for the Democrats and Republicans to have 9 o'clock be their cutoff time, then it probably would have stood up the same way it did in Williamson County for the 10 o'clock for both parties. But it can't just be one party gets 2 extra hours and the other party doesn't. That's why I got shut down. And guess what? It wouldn't have mattered anyway because you lost the race by like 150,000 votes. Like you lost the race by quite a few votes. So it wasn't going to make a difference regardless. Okay, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, no, and also, speaking about the race, I got one more about that race because we got to talk about Cornyn and Paxton and whatnot.
CBS News projects.
Okay, pardon me. Let me just put this up right quick. And let's let it rock and roll.
CBS News projects Democratic State Representative James Tallarico has defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, while longtime Republican Senator John Cornyn will face a runoff against State Attorney General Ken Paxton. Let's
go back a little bit so you can see. Okay, James Tallarico, 1.17 million votes. Jasmine Crockett, 1.01 million. So that's a pretty big gap in between. It wouldn't matter if you allowed Dallas to be open for 2 more hours. Even if you kept the Republicans out, you wouldn't have made a difference. You would have still lost.
Tallarico has defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, while longtime Republican Senator John Cornyn will face a runoff against State Attorney General Ken Paxton. While Paxton is an ally of President Trump, the president did not endorse any candidates in this primary. Ed O'Keefe is in Austin with the latest.
Now, the reason why they got to have a runoff with Cornyn and Paxton is because they both did not get beyond 50%. Well, that would have been impossible. One person did not get. Cornyn only got 41.8%. You need 50 to clinch it. Wesley Hunt played the spoiler, getting 13.5%.
Is in Austin with the latest on this first key vote. It is officially midterm election season. Ed, good morning.
That's right. Get excited, Adriana. Good morning. Record Democratic turnout appears to have paid off in Tallarico's favor. As you mentioned, CBS News projects that he has defeated Congresswoman Crockett with more than 50% of the vote and avoids a runoff in May. The 36-year-old is a state lawmaker from here in the Austin area who put off his seminary studies in order to launch this campaign, believing he can combine support from Democrats, independents in this state, and Republicans upset with the president to successfully win. Now, over on the Republican side, failing to get 50% of the vote, Senator John Cornyn is now in a runoff with State Attorney General Ken Paxton. The senator saying last night he won't allow what he called a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton to risk decades of GOP success. Paxton has spent years facing multiple investigations, an impeachment attempt, and allegations of corruption. He says while national Republicans may be ready to spend tens of millions of dollars against him, quote, the people are on our side.
That's what I was saying earlier. Paxton is very controversial. So he's talking about a general election. He could be a liability because there's enough against him right now to say, I don't know. But when you go to this election and you try to, do that, you're trying to unseat somebody, hey, man, it could be something crazy to come out of nowhere, out of left field, and just totally destroy your whole situation. And then that's how you flip a seat. That's how you flip your seat from red to blue. If Paxton wins and his past comes back to haunt him during the race, Tallarico wins. If Cornyn wins in the general, in my humble opinion. Either way it goes, Crockett was not going to win. But again, you're going to see her, I said it before, you're going to see her in 28 because Jasmine Crockett is also not going to be in the House anymore because she did not run for the House re-election, which is every 2 years. So somebody else got that. It's some mega church pastor or something like this that got that. He already won his primary, like 75% of the vote. So it'll probably be him that wins that particular seat in Dallas. But since she declined to run again, she won't be in the House until at least 2029 if she runs and wins. So in 2028, you're going to see her on the campaign trail in some capacity. Yes, you will. Maybe she might be part of the cabinet if, Gavin Newsom or somebody. Or how about this? You ready? How about this ticket? Hear me out. Gavin Newsom, president. Jasmine Crockett, vice president. It can happen. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they're going to run like that. It can happen. Watch. It'll be somebody like that. It'll be an AOC or somebody like that as a vice president. I guarantee you. You'll see. All right, let's keep on going here. Oh, and also Texas. What's the guy's name? Dan Patrick, is that his name? Hold on. Dan Crenshaw, pardon me, Mr. Eye Patch. Dan Crenshaw himself lost. Let me see if I got his results right quick. Yeah, Dan Crenshaw lost. Hold on. And you can see right here, Steve Toth, is that how you say his name? Steve Toth won the primary, unseating U.S. House Rep Dan Crenshaw. And it wasn't even close. It was pretty decisive in the victory, like 55%. Hold on, you can see it right here. So Steve Toth, 55.8% of the vote. Dan Crenshaw, as the incumbent, mind you, 40.7%. So needless to say, Dan Crenshaw has cratered in popularity in his district in Texas. All right. And of course, Dan Crenshaw, Mr. Eye Patch. Let me see if I got his picture right quick so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. That's him right there. Dan Crenshaw. He's also controversial, like Ken Paxton is. It's always something with him, some kind of issue, some kind of problem. That's why he lost, because people are like, you know what, retire your shenanigans. Let's go do something else. And it's okay, because maybe you're not meant to be there forever. You're there for a season, then you move on. Maybe that's how it is. All right, now let's go to the Austin, Texas, about Texas again. Let's go to Austin, that bar shooting that happened with the Muslim from Africa who was a U.S. citizen.
Earlier today, one of Iran's most influential clerics called for the U.S. and Israel to be eradicated. For now tonight, the FBI is investigating a possible terror attack in Austin, Texas. A gunman killed 2 people, and then police shot and killed the suspect. Later, officials searched his home, finding an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders. CBS's Jason Allen is in Austin with the very latest. Jason, what more do we know?
Well, Jerika, the shooting started at the bar you see back behind me with the large heart. Police tonight, investigators have closed off 7 blocks of this very popular, busy entertainment district. It was filled with people early this morning when the shooting started.
Where is it? Video shows people taking cover inside a bar as a gunman fired shots toward them from the window of an SUV. Then, police said he parked and got out with a rifle and started firing again. Within less than a minute, 3 police officers patrolling the busy entertainment district shot and killed the gunman. Paramedics immediately started trying to save the lives of the 19 people shot. 2 of them died. 3 more were in critical condition. Sources identified the shooter to CBS News as Indiaga Diagne, a naturalized U.S. citizen originally from Senegal.
There were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
The gunman, in a photo obtained by Fox News, was wearing a sweatshirt that said "Property of Allah" and had a Quran in his vehicle. Investigators searching his home north of Austin found an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders, according to officials close to the investigation.
This is what keeps the intelligence community up at night. Not people directly associated with terrorist groups, but people who become inspired because of things that are happening in the world.
Now, some are going to say, well, the reason why that happened is because we did that to Iran. I mean, look, as I said from the beginning, as I'm going to always say, wherever you have Islam, you're going to have terror attacks. Not all, not even most, but you will have it. It might be a whole city full of people that talking about some Allahu Akbar. I'll take as one. You don't really see Christian guys do that. I mean, you're going to see Christian people do bad things, but it's not like in the name of Jesus. You don't really see that. It's not really a thing that I've seen. Maybe I've not seen it all. Maybe you guys seen more than me. You guys, have traveled the whole universe. You may have seen more than me, but I don't recall ever seeing that. But I do know that Allahu Akbar is universal for a Muslim. You're going to die right now. Anyway, prayers out to all who died, and may those who were injured get well soon. Now, y'all know me with the Waymos. I do not like Waymos. Okay, now the Waymo got in the way. The Waymo got in the way after the terror attack. Now, my question is this. If you have a terror attack, why would you call a Waymo to get you out of there? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I want to call a driverless car to rescue me. First of all, I want the police. That's number one. And number two, if I'm going to get a person to get me out of there, I want a human being. I'm not trusting AI to evade bullets, to get out of a bad situation. Why would you do this in this moment? This makes no sense. And of course, what happens? You call the driverless vehicle, the Waymo, your Uber, to get you out of there, and it blocks ambulance, police, everything else. Check this out.
Waymo, come on! Go! Go! More! Oh, fuck. I mean, he's not gonna go any further. Yes.
Yo, we just need to get in it, I think.
I guess don't engage some English.
Should we get in? I know we called it. Should we get in? We got to get in because if we don't get in, it's going to stay there. Why would you call it to begin with? Now it's just in the way. Big hunk of junk. And I'm glad the cop got in to actually drive the vehicle and get it up out of there. Now, what they say is that there was a statement that came out that says Waymo has backup drivers in Philippines that can remotely drive you. They said, well, they're not really drivers. It just help us navigate the car. Oh, okay. So they don't pick up, place that controller and start driving, but they give the car instructions on where to go. So somebody from Philippines could be on their phone and see you in that situation right there. And they'll tell their car, okay, go to, that's the Indian. Okay, go this way. I don't want my car piloted, driven, directed by anyone that's not right there. I want a human being that can see right here. I can see what he's doing. I can't see what my man over in Philippines is doing with my car as far as telling it where to go. How do I know that? He might have a bad day and tell my car to go off the road. It's not ready. It's not cooked. The technology is in its infancy. It's in its infancy. It's like Atari versus PlayStation 6. I know it's not out yet, but you understand what I'm saying. That's the difference in a technology where it is starting to where it could be in the future. Maybe one day we'll have the Jetsons, flying cars in the air, no steering wheel. It's all just AI, but we're not there right now. We're not there right now. Now, some of y'all say, you know what, it could have been hacked. It could have been hacked, or it could have been done on purpose. Hey, it could be hacked because if you have a computer system that can be accessed remotely, then it can be hacked. Now, speaking about driverless vehicles, y'all love them though. Hey, the reason why we have driverless cars is because y'all love them. Speaking about driverless cars, we got the DoorDash Dot or the 3D, the DDD. Let's watch.
Here it comes, folks. It's the DoorDash Dot. Hi, over here. Wrong side of the road. Over here. Come over here. All right, folks. Our first experience with DoorDash Dot. Hi. Hi. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Takes a lot of jobs, but it's awesome. Pizza. Do you guys tip him? Do you have to tip him? No tipping. Life sucks for you, dude. Okay. Okay, close it. Okay. You know it's gonna take off. Bye. Bye-bye, DoorDash guy. See you around. Goodbye. Bye-bye. There you go. You can go now. You can go now. You've been here too long. There you go. And he's off. Bye.
All right, there we go. So, would you guys order your food with the DoorDash Dot? Y'all know me. I'm not a big back. I'm not going to sit on my hind parts, pajamas, flip-flops, and get pizza and all kind of cheese rolls. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not the kind of person. I'm the kind of guy that cooks pretty much every single day. And I eat like really, not only do I cook every day, now I got a new thing I do. I fast twice a week. Twice a week I fast. No food at all. All I do is just drink orange juice maybe. That's my calories right there. Orange juice, Milo's tea to keep myself hydrated. But beyond that, no food. So when I do eat very well. Not like super expensive, but I eat very good. So this right here, I would never do. But hey, everybody do different things. I can't make everybody be me because it's boring and it could be cumbersome. It could be kind of a pain in my hind parts to do something like that. Everybody don't want to do that. And sometimes you want a pizza. You want something fat and greasy to enjoy yourself. Would you get that? Now, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to keep it all the way real. If I was to order DoorDash, I would use something like that because I don't want you in your nasty car, not you guys who have DoorDash, but I don't want somebody's nasty car to have my food in it. Some of y'all have cars. I don't know what you're doing in your car. Y'all got all kind of extra stuff going on. I don't want my food contaminated with your car's funky aura. If I was a big back, I would do that. But I'm not, so I'm not. What do y'all think? Let me know. Now, speaking about driving, we got a conflict with some of these drivers from different places. I'm not sure you're from India, Pakistan, somewhere. I don't know, but hey, man, we got a parking space issue with a truck driver.
Look at this! You know, this is a trailer parking. This is not a single truck parking, brother. This is not a single truck parking. The hotel cannot be parked like that. This is a truck parking. This is a hotel. This is a hotel. You have to go to the forward. No.
This fucking stupid fuck. Look at this. I'm in my fucking spot. Check this out. Don't waste your time. You hit me.
Nothing has happened to your truck.
Nothing's wrong with my truck, but you hit me.
Get away. Don't care about that. How he's parked, see.
Look at how far you are.
No,
you shouldn't have parked here.
So what can do I do? How can I do that? I can hit that one. You want me to hit that one? You want me to hit
I wouldn't hit anything. I do not hit anything.
Parking the truck on the right place, bro. That same thing.
That is in the right place. The end of the line. Look at the end of the line.
the end of the line, the yellow line, the white paint, the white paint.
Listen, I am on my right. I am not wasting my this parking.
And you said I'm racist?
No. You. Why are you doing like that, bro?
You said I was yelling at you because I'm not yelling.
You came out. You said,
you're an idiot.
Fuck. Why are you saying like that?
You hit my truck.
No, yaar. Nothing happened to you.
My bumper.
Brother, nothing has happened to you.
So who's right, who's wrong in the situation? Who's right, who's wrong? Now, I think the Sikh right here is incorrect because it's a space. I mean, so you telling me I can't park right there if I don't got a trailer? So if I'm just the rig, no trailer, I can't park right there? Hey, truck guys, let me know. If you got a parking lot like this, parking area like this, are you allowed to park when you don't have a trailer and all you got is your rig by itself? Y'all let me know. Okay. And I think what happened is my man right here with the trailer hit this truck. Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he wasn't paying attention. I don't know what's going on, but he hit this truck and he's like all in his lane. So y'all let me know who y'all think is right, who you think is wrong. Yeah, the gaslighting is crazy. Hey, gaslighting, that's one of the worst things you could do to somebody because it's like, yo, how you going to tell me what I know? Like, what's really going on? But anyway, okay, I got one more. Have you guys seen the McDonald's Big Arch kerfuffle? Oh, my goodness. I might do a video on this because there's people talking about it. Okay, so the CEO of McDonald's gave a taste test, I suppose, of the Big Arch, and I guess they thought his bite was too puny. So now they all doing their own taste test video. I'm going to show you the McDonald's one. I ain't going to show you everybody right now, but let's show the McDonald's one first.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already. It's in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch, try it when you can get it.
Okay, there you go. So people were saying that his bite that he took was a little bit too puny, so I can get a good freeze frame.
The onion.
Said his bite was too puny, and he ain't really, like dig in. Now, I don't think it was that bad because most people don't be like, like they're not like hippopotamuses having their jaw open like 90 degrees. They're not gonna do this with their jaw. They're not gonna do that with their jaw and just their jaw ain't gonna go like that. They got, you're not like it's an Attack on Titan, like it ain't like that. I think that was a perfectly good bite. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that was an okay bite. If I'm eating a hamburger, I'm not gonna go Attack on Titan, big crazy jaw, no crocodile, alligator, hippopotamus. I'm not gonna do that with my burger. It's just not really my thing. Okay, but we got more. We got more executives showing how they're gonna eat the burger. Okay. Hold on. That was McDonald's. And
fresh, never.
Now we're having Wendy's jump in the mix. Okay. RIP to Dave Thomas. RIP Dave Thomas. Let's watch this.
Fresh, never frozen beef, our Applewood smoked bacon, our brand new bun, our square burger cooked on a flat grill. Amazing. Absolutely wonderful. That's a burger. This is exactly the way a great hamburger should be. You got to top it.
Bro, are you hungry? Like, what's going on? You about to devour the hamburger. Like, You ain't supposed to just inhale it. You know what I mean? Are you going to breathe between bites? Can I get a drink of water? Good grief.
Off with the fries and Frosty. Excellent.
I don't like it. You're doing too much with your mouth. I don't like it. It's much. It's too much now. It's kind of like a pig, man. I don't like that. But yeah, that's the CEO of Wendy's. So was that better? Was it a little more appetizing? He did make it look better though, because he was kind of like pigging out. You know what I mean? Like he has not eaten in the past 5 days. This is his first meal. It's like, man, I'm about to die right now. Let me get something to eat. Good grief. Okay. Wendy's. Do I have more? I believe I do. I believe I do. Hold on. Where is the other one? I thought I had it. I have it, but let me find it right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, Burger King. Let's go Burger King and watch him. Now, I think this guy might be kind of a big back, if I remember correctly. Hold on.
Hey, how we doing? I'm Luke Barnett. I am the interim CEO of
Oh, this is Taco Bell. Okay, there's more. I'm going to do a video, maybe. Just because. But I'm going to show you one more, then I'm done.
Hey, how we doing? I'm Luke Barnett. I am the interim CEO of Taco Bell. We just thought we'd join this fun little challenge with you guys. So I'm going to take you along. This is what I'm eating for lunch today. Let's see what we packed. This is what I eat pretty much every day, because I am the CEO of Taco Bell. Oh, this is one of our legacy products. This is a soft taco. It's got a little bit of cheese and lettuce sprinkled in. It's good for you.
Hey, observing the ingredients of that taco is making my stomach bubble. Hey, my stomach is bubbling right now.
And the meat, while it does come from a meat gun, it is the highest quality meat that we could get at the price point.
A meat gun? What is that, sir?
So, yeah. I am just going to take a bite out of this taco.
Wait. Your face, bro. Hold on. Let's watch it one more time. Am I tripping? Or is he just like, his face don't really match what he's saying? He's like,
It's a really taco. Yeah, that's a good taco. I can see people all around the world why they enjoy this every day. It's just a nice little flavor to it. And it comes in a 3-pack. I think it's on the value menu. It's a good deal. $1.89 a taco usually. I'm just going to take another bite out of it.
Now he's struggling.
Yep, that is a totally real taco. And I think it's.
Am I watching? Is it a parody? It's got to be a parody. This has got to be a parody, because my man right here is struggling real bad. He's struggling real bad. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, he struck. That was a parody. Okay, you got me. That was parody. Okay, the first two, those are reals. I saw those earlier. That's a fake one right there. Okay. All right, Mr. Internet Prankster, I'm gonna block you forever for putting out that fake video, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Now, I think I have one more that's real. One more that's real. I had to show it because this is like perfect. The protesters. This is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I don't know what this protest is all about. Maybe it's the whole Rachel Nicole Good, whatever her name is, Alex Pretty. This might be about Alex Pretty, Rachel Nicole Good. But we have a tank. Listen, we have a tank in distress, okay? He's in distress. He's on the ground, and I don't know if he ever got up.
Be careful. That's a human being right there. Give him help! Stand up. Stand up. Make sure he's comfortable.
Y'all know how to do with these protests. They put the tank right out front, okay? You got Big Boy right there on the ground, or it'll be a big bull dagger. One of these, hi, my name's Chuck. One of them bull daggers be out in front, or a guy like that, and behind them will be the infantry. The frail units are more toward the back. The big brawny ones up toward the front. That's their way they actually go out and do these little things that they do. It's basically live action role playing, or LARPing for short. They're not actually getting no kind of combat for real. And when they do get in combat, it kind of ends like this right here. The tank broken down. The tank has no maintenance. People getting deleted in front of cars. You know, all kind of stuff. It doesn't really go well when actually I get called up to action and have to fight. So there we go. Big tank on the ground. Hopefully he was able to get up at a certain point in time. But there we have it. Okay, there we have it. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. I think that'd be it for the clips. Oh, no. I got a couple more. I know I'm a little bit late, but I got one more good one. So we have an affluent white female urban liberal, the awful, going out to, I believe, Portland and trying to, quote unquote, help a homeless person. But her help is not received very well. And if I was in the person's position that she was trying to help, I'm going to have the same reaction. Let's watch.
You all right? Hi. Okay. Yeah, we're good. You all right? Okay. Hi. Yep, we're doing okay.
Okay, chill out. Relax.
We're good. All right. There's a distance. Yep. Are you okay?
Calm down.
Okay, stop.
Calm down.
Stop.
Hey.
Stop.
Relax. Calm down.
It's okay, dear.
Calm down.
So, dear.
Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down. Let go of her. Let go of her. Let go of her. Let go of
It's
her.
okay. Everything's okay, dear.
It's okay.
Everything's okay.
Are you okay? All right. Are
Lady.
you waking up?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're good.
Calm down, lady.
Hey.
Calm down. What are you doing?
I think I'm okay. Oh my gosh, we're snuggling. Please don't lick
Okay.
me. Please don't lick me.
No. We're good.
We're good.
Take care.
All right.
Are you okay? All right.
Okay.
I'm glad you're doing okay.
That's interesting.
I'm glad you're doing okay. Well, you're not gonna poke me in the eye.
All right, Tara, walk away.
Why did you poke my head?
Well, because we're
overdosing. We thought you were overdosing.
I think you're overdosing.
Would you like to keep one of these?
Oh my God, you're overdosing.
Would you like a cigarette?
You need it.
All right.
And you know what? This was perfect because why are you touching these random people? Do not, I don't care. Don't go run up on somebody and touching them with a camera. You didn't think that she was overdosing. You didn't think it was about that. Because I ain't see y'all calling the police. I ain't see y'all trying to get no Narcan out. You were just like a dog rubbing her with a camera out. So she was like, okay, how about this? How about I rub you? How about I pet you? How about that? There we go. So more of the story is, you see somebody on the ground, leave him there. No, I'm just playing. But if a person's in distress, maybe call the authorities. You trying to touch them? I ain't touching nobody on the street because I don't know where they've been. I don't know what they got going on. And if I was to try to help somebody, I wouldn't be like this. Okay, I'm going to help you now with my phone out. We're not doing that. So there we go. Exactly, River Spirit. Leave a sleeping dog be. Leave a sleeping dog be, or let a sleeping dog lie. You wake them up, you might get bit square in your hind parts. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. All right, let's get to some calls. But first, we got super chats on deck. Let me go to, where are we going? Okay, let's go. Apple Barker, All Puff Daddy, who says, what's going to happen to Jasmine Crockett? Go away. You're going to see her again in 2028. You sure will. You absolutely will. Okay, and hold on. Thank you to Apple for that. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, I copied and pasted links of your Venezuela, Iran celebration videos into liberal YouTube channels like hundreds of times. Guess what? No reaction, if at all. Libs cannot handle reality. They talk trash, but can't handle reality. Why? They only acknowledge the reality that they want to exist in, but not the reality that actually exists. That's the truth. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, I love your Iran celebration vid. I love your Iran celebration, vid, inspiration. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Apple again, who says opinion of Jon Stewart. The guy so smug, sickening. He's like the same as Bill Maher, but a different flavor. Bill Maher's like ultimate smug. I'm Bill Maher. He's like one of them. And Jon Stewart is not quite like that, but he has some of that in him. They got the smug gene, but Bill Maher has a super smug gene. Okay, thank you to Apple again, who says no one fired or resigned because Afghanistan war withdrawal. Pardon me, no honor. Hey, you're right about that. Thank you to Pete Sangria, who says I'm sick of Middle East wars. Hey, I wish they would stop fighting, but they're not. Thank you to Taylor, who says R.I.P. Jim Carrey. He's not dead, but R.I.P. Lou Holtz. Thank you to Mauricio, who says get your Hillary on. I ain't no ways tired. Thank you to Dolores, who says nothing, but thank you for your super chat. Thank you to Lothair, who says I still disagree with you on the war, but at least Iran's free from religious dogma. At least there's some good things out of it. Thank you to Mr. Wilk Firearms, who says the Trump orange is trademarked. It is. Hey, that Trump orange is trademarked, huh? That's funny. It'd be a whole crayon set. 64 colors of orange. Thank you to Taylor Langley, who says running international blocks, 3 baby mamas went to jail, dodged a bullet, the mixtape gonna be fire. That's right. Shout out to Donald John Chavius Trump, first black president. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Thank you to Lyle Peterson for your super chat. Thank you to Mauricio, who says only Democrats will get upset at a black man co-celebrating with freedom with others. There you go. Thank you to Thormo for your donation. Thank you to Mauricio, who says 47 ended 47 years of tyranny. That's right. That's right. Thank you to Taylor Langley, who says thoughts on the Candace and Erica beef. I couldn't care less. That's girl beef. That's girl stuff. That's things that women do. Things that women do. We're trying to like make sense of it, but it's not going to make sense because it's women doing it. I mean, have you ever seen two women argue or have a cat fight? It don't make sense. So why try to make sense of it? It don't make sense. Thank you to Marta, who says, OMG, paramedics came to my door tonight by accident. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Hopefully, whoever they were looking for is okay as well. Shout out to you for joining us tonight. Thank you to Gregatron, who says the drivers overseas are driving Waymos like they are RC cars. LOL. They got the little remote with the antenna. That's that's hilarious. You got dude overseas, feet up on the no sandals, no socks, feet up on the joint like he playing the video game. That's hilarious. Thank you to Chelsea for being an ABL supporter. And thank you to Chelsea again, who says, meat gun. I haven't ate fast food in a long time. Then just sealed Taco Bell's fate. That's a no for me, dog. Much love for 3 years from Kentucky ABL. Well, thank you for your super chat. But I did get food. That one video was a parody. Everything else I played was legitimate, but I ain't do my due diligence on that one video. They got me. But I think they do use a meat gun. And that they do, I don't want no parts of that. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I most certainly appreciate y'all. Let's get to some calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287 is the number to call. Let's go ahead and get it rocking and rolling. And shout out to you guys for being here. I most certainly appreciate you always. You guys are the best. But yeah, Taco Bell, I can't Taco Bell no way because Taco Bell, my stomach, man, it's not really a good combination. My stomach says, Taco Bell, is that what we doing, bro? Come on. Like, y'all know, you should know better than to put that in my stomach. You should better than know to fool yourself for that. For me, personally. You guys may love Taco Bell. You might swear by Taco Bell, but everybody's different. I also can't drink milk. A lot of you guys love milk. A lot of you guys are going to buy milk whenever it snows, rains, wind, whatever. Fire. 210, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is Lyle. How are you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
All right. Got 2 points to make. Jasmine Crockett, I believe she lost her seat because of the Texas redistricting, which was a great thing. And the second point was in 1979, I watched our Marines being drugged to death through Tehran. And that's when I decided I was going to enlist. Of course, I was only 16 then, and it took a couple months of harassing my parents to allow them to sign for me to enlist. But could you imagine all the lives we could have saved if we had done that back in 1980?
Very good point.
So that's all I wanted to say. You have a great day.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. What's you on line? 617.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
I guess the American people have not learned their lesson, right?
What you mean?
You know, we went to Iraq, stayed like, what, 10, 15 years, looking for WMDs, looking for that mushroom cloud, the nuclear weapons. We couldn't find anything. Now they're playing the same BS again, and people believe it. Ain't that something?
So what's the same BS? Like, okay, so what are they saying now?
Well, I mean, Bush would make the claim that there were WMDs in Iraq. When the inspectors went in and they were doing their job, he said that we couldn't wait for the mushroom cloud to blow up. So we had to go in. We couldn't just wait. We went in. We found out there was nothing. So right now with Iran, it's even more laughable because after when they did the Iranian deal, there were 6 countries involved, including Russia and China. The inspectors went in. They said that Iran only was enriching uranium up to 2%, and the centrifuge was 2%. Then Trump decided to withdraw from the deal. He say what's gonna give us a better deal, some better BS. This Iraq. We removed dictators in Libya. We removed dictators in Syria. And they don't even have president. There's no president in Iraq. There's no president in Libya. And there's president in Syria. There's just chaos. So now we're gonna go to Iran to do the same thing to create more chaos. A vacuum of terrorism. So don't you think people are that dumb? How you could be so stupid? That's I just can't comprehend a country with a supposedly intelligent, with people so intelligent, they can't even put 2 + 2 together. That this is some BS. Don't you think that?
I don't think so. I got to ask you a question. Do you think that Iran was going to attack us at a certain point, even if we didn't do what we're doing right now?
No, Iran is not going to attack. It never attacked anyone.
Yeah, never. They never attacked anybody, really.
No.
So what are the Houthis?
Well, but that's some groups that have nothing to do with the government of Iran.
So Iran's not funding them?
No, that's the government. You could have some rebel groups running around doing some BS, but that doesn't mean that the government is doing it.
So Iran's not funding. Wait. So is Iran funded? Does Iran fund the Houthis?
No, there's no evidence that they funded. There's no evidence of that. That's
Okay.
The CIA said there was no evidence of that.
Okay.
There's no evidence of any of that. Okay. Any of that stuff is just not true.
So,
any of that stuff is not true.
So hold on. You talk for a long time. Be quiet. So I got to ask you a question. So when people say that Iran is the largest state sponsor of terror in the world, is that false?
Well, I mean, there could be groups, same as Saudi Arabia.
Is it false? Is it false?
Not the government. Not the government. It could be groups that sponsor terrorism. Same as the Saudis, same as Kuwait, same as Qatar, same as all these people. They have people that sponsor terrorism.
So do you think that certain groups in Iran are the largest sponsors of terrorism in the world?
And I don't know, and that doesn't matter because they are not gonna. That doesn't matter because as long as we don't get involved with their government, we're gonna be okay. Why we have to fight? Why we have to fight the war that Israel wants to fight? Because Netanyahu decided to fight this war. You know, Netanyahu told that to Bush, and Netanyahu told that to Obama that he wanted to go to bomb Iran because the large nuclear missile. And he make an excuse because Iran have nuclear weapons. You know, they've been playing the same CD, the same scam over and over again. Why in the world? I mean, I don't know how much does it cost. It says like $86 billion. I don't know if it's true. The cost of these 3 days, 4 days of war, or almost a week of war. I don't know if it's true. But why we should spend taxpayer funding into that when we have so much people in need in America here? Why we couldn't use that money to provide vouchers for people who cannot afford apartments, for example, like in New York, Chicago, Boston? Why we cannot do that? Why we cannot use that money to provide for vouchers for people who cannot afford daycare? Why we have to be involved?
Now you're talking way too much. You're asking a bunch of questions. So your question was, we're spending a bunch of money. Why can't we just spend that on government programs that are going to help people? Okay, I heard your point. Now, the thing about it is, if we don't do this and then they attack us, we are dropping the ball because, okay, you can have somebody get a voucher for an apartment, but then once you get a terror attack, what happens? Like, you got to be able to prevent these things from happening. You got to be able to secure the nation in general, not just give them vouchers, but secure them as well. Because what good is a voucher in a place that's been hit by a terror attack?
Well, you say the most stupidest thing that I never heard.
Okay, the most is stupidest.
So
okay,
let me. Okay, so let me do. There, Iran is like miles away from here, right? So they're not gonna come. The missiles don't even reach here, and they won't even try to do that.
Okay.
They don't wanna. No country in the world want to mess with this country. They don't want any trouble in any kind with this country. But this country want to mess with them. So they retaliation. Okay.
Now I got a question. I got one more question. You made your point. I got one more question. You made your point. I got one more question. You made your point. I got one more question. You could be quiet or I can move on. So now I have a question. Quiet, sir. Now, what if? Because you say that we're too far away. Now, what if the Iranians hit Israel? What happens to the world if that happens?
Well, Israel has enough weapons to defend themselves. We provide them with enough technology to defend themselves. Why we have to fight their war?
No. Answer the question. The question is, you're saying they can defend themselves. Well, what happens? What happens if they hit a nuke? If they hit Israel with a nuke, what happens?
Hit them with a nuke. They don't have nukes.
Now listen. Just answer the question.
But they don't have.
It's a what if question. Just answer the question. If you don't want to answer the question, you could just get off the phone. What if Iran hits Israel with a nuke? How does that affect the world? Because it will affect the world if that happened. How would that affect the world? Do you know?
I just respond your question. The Atomic Energy Agency inspectors.
I'm not asking you all of that. Just answer the question and move on. All right. You know what? Watch this. Hey, guess what? Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. Thank you for the call. Now, he's saying that they don't have nukes. Okay, that's fine. But what if? What if? Because it's a matter of opinion. He says they don't have it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. You don't know that for certain. What if they hit Israel with a nuke? Now, you're talking about the whole world will turn upside down. The whole world turn upside down. That would be catastrophic for everybody. Not just the Jays, because people think it's about, oh, you fighting for Israel. Nah, you fighting for the whole world. The chaos that will ensue, the chaos that'll happen, oh my goodness. Y'all not ready for that, but I digress. Anthony ABL Loganstein. All right, whatever. 859, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Yo. It's a combination of Hami LA and Anton LaVey. How's it going? Hey, I want to give you a heads up. Yo, brother, Ivan, shut up. Not everything's black and white, dude. And he acts like a child. He does.
Right on. But go ahead.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my phone call, ABL. I mean, my personal opinion, I've, like I said, read more about it. Don't get me wrong. I knew about the history about Iran and used to be back in the 70s. They used to be very westernized. And there's some good parts of this situation. There's some bad parts of this situation. The good thing is Iran is free. Heck yeah, freedom. I do not like the religious dogma of overtaking of crazy religion to taking over the state. As a Luciferian, I am highly against a one-state religion government. I'm highly against that. We should have a freedom of religion and freedom of what you want to do. Sharia law is like barbaric almost. I'm not saying all Muslims, but like the stuff I have seen, bro. The stuff I have seen growing up.
Right on. I'm with you.
Am I wrong or am I right? Is it like legitimately crazy? Like it's like the Epstein Island plus 22, but with some religious craziness behind it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. You're right on.
I mean, like, I'm kind of rolling my eyes on the whole, what's that whole thing with the Heritage Foundation's doing, the, what was it called? What was it called, baby? Was it Wedding Boot Camp?
Oh.
Bride Boot Camp or something like that, and it's you guys have to read up on that, and to that, it's awkward and weird, and I know Trump would probably roll his eyes on that, the whole Wedding Boot Camp thing. You guys have to read into it.
So give me your brief synopsis if you can.
Well, it's supposed to be a communal, and it's the only way you can end the boot camp is to get married in a communal wedding, and basically it legally binds you to life even after divorce. So if you own something, you're forced to share with that person after divorce, which is kind of weird. It doesn't make any sense. But read up on it. Like I said, it's kind of weird. And of course, not even though it's voluntary, it's the only way you can get out is get married is kind of sketch to me. It's like legal contract tied to a government to another person. It's like another interference in relationships and government.
That's not gonna hold up in court. You could easily beat that because that's called slavery. You could easily beat that in court.
Exactly, I agree. So that's why I'm kind of rolling my eyes at the whole like Heritage Foundation thing, because they don't speak on the behalf of everybody. I don't know why they even say these things, because they were doing the whole thing with that one time when it was like they were suggesting this new plan for Trump, and like Trump said, I don't. This is not my plan. Why they're speaking on behalf of me, and it kind of made me roll my eyes. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, buddy.
That's all good, man.
But yeah, I also called up because it's like I said, it's black and white. I think we originally, and you may disagree with me on this, I think we originally came over there because oil. Same as oil. But it's good we killed a dictator. But I think mostly oil because, like, right next door, they're taking over the government, the cartels, man. It's priorities, man. That's why I was kind of like, dude. And that you get my sympathy here. And not only that, Trump did lie about a certain subject that I have been doing research on because, promise me, I've been doing research on this certain subject because I'm writing a book. And supposedly he was in peace talks between India and Pakistan. Well, he wasn't involved, but he was claiming that he was involved with that. And I'm like, no, he wasn't. I've been paying attention to that for a reason because I'm writing a book.
Okay, right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, that's why I was skeptical in the first place when he went to war with Iran. But like I said, he's liberating the whole country against a crazy ideology. Thank you very much for taking my phone call. Much love to you, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
You do.
All right, shout out to the man. Shout out to my man for the call. I appreciate him. Let's go to 501 online. Who am I speaking to?
This is Robert.
All right, what's going on?
Not much. I wasn't even gonna call, but when Ivan got to talking, I was like, you know what? Let me just go on and say a couple things. So, like when he was talking about we could use that money for homeless and all that other stuff. I mean, we've already done that experiment in California, and because like a Democrat, they got on one of those news stations, and they were talking about, oh yeah, we could have used $20 billion to help homeless. How much money did Gavin Newsom spend on homelessness in California, and it's worse?
Exactly. Like the thing about homelessness, trying to spend money on it, trying to spend it away does not work.
Yeah, because I mean, they literally spent billions of dollars, and it's worse. They even built a tower, and what came of that? Nothing. I mean, the people are still homeless. They're not even using that apartment or a tower or the complex, in the proper sense of, for homelessness. So I mean, it's all wasted money. It's just like how they wasted money on the train.
Right, of course.
But yeah, I'm here in Texas, and yeah, I wish I could vote against the caveman, but he's not in my district, so I can't do anything about that.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that Jasmine Crockett is out. Again, well, for the Senate, I guess I could have, because here, when we vote for the primaries, they ask you if you want to vote Republican or Democrat, and they give you that specific ballot for those candidates. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work for the runoff for the caveman or whatnot, but hopefully they get him up out of there.
Right on.
Yeah. Another thing, I think that these people are just crazy. It's just like the last call when he was talking about Trump lied about something. I mean, if you're not part of his cabinet, what do you know if he lied about something, if he told the truth or not about something? How does he know if he talked to Pakistan or India?
You can't know that.
I mean, that's just like saying that he probably talked to some of the Iranians before he offed them. But I mean, how would we know that?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna get off of here. I'll let you go and get to some more calls.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller and shout out to you guys watching. I appreciate y'all for joining. Let's go 541. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Jeffrey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. Am I backfeeding?
You're totally fine.
Okay. Hey, I was just thinking about the Iran. Remember, I don't know if you were even born in 1979. I just got out of the military. And I remember the students that in Tehran that went and got the hostages, took over the embassy, right? And they were Iranians, right? And they were done with the Shah because of all his corruption, right? From the UK and the CIA, which is the USA. I mean, stealing and stuff. That's how it all really started, right? I mean, it went for many, many years and built up to that, to where we are today. Does that make any sense?
It does.
Because they were held for, I think, 444 days, November 4th, 1979, 52 hostages, I believe. And then Reagan came in and changed everything, and they got him back because Carter couldn't do nothing. President Carter.
That's right.
He tried, but failed.
He did.
So anyway, that's just a little history. You know what I mean? It just keeps going on and on. I'm glad it's taken because the nukes will definitely major. It's still America and the Jays, as you say, right? I mean, they're not lying. They're Muslim, right? They have no choice. That's what they do.
Exactly.
In their religion, in my opinion. And I've studied it quite a bit. So from Muhammad dying in 692, they say, or whatever, and then going to Moderna. And then that's now Saudi Arabia, and then starting to, following became really big, and they started feeling, because North Africa used to be mostly Christian back then. Egypt was Christian. I mean, they just took over and killed everybody. It took everything, right? And nobody ever talks about that. I don't get it. I guess they're afraid. I'm not sure why.
I suppose so.
Anyway, I'm not trying to be a pain. I don't know. I'm not trying to start anything. I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, you have a good night. That guy, what is it, Ivan? He's funny. I think he likes just messing with you. I don't know, because he makes no sense to me. I've been listening to him for quite a long time. Okay, brother. Have a good night.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, thank you for taking it. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys watching. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helps me out tremendously. And also, I got a little bit more time. If you want to call in, the number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, the number to call, I got a teeny bit more time. 706-406-3287. And thank you guys for being here. If you like what you've heard tonight, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing. Hit the subscribe button right now if you're not subscribed. 510, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Nicole. Hi, ABL. I just want to say, hello?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I 100% trust Trump and the administration. And my only concern, I think, is, what's next as far as, we're connected to 33 or so Latin countries. And then we have Canada on top. And we don't have a plan really to control our neighbors, and we're right in the middle. And I understand we had to do what he did, but I don't think anyone would ever try to actually invade us. I'm sure they have sleeper cells, of course, but it's so much easier to hurt us with biological warfare. So I'm just a little worried, sometimes worried about, not just the invasion that the Democrats allow, because their plan is to do that again and to, get them in some kind of way. It's going to happen. So we need to just focus in the future, after all this is said and done, on how we can really control the politicians, because we have just, a few hundred politicians controlling all of us. And that's the real problem here, because we don't have any control. Well, that's what I think anyway.
Right, I'm with you. I think as far as the bioweapon, we already had that happen with COVID, right?
No, that was it. Just
from China.
Jumped, No. Bio warfare is really easy to do. They can wipe out a whole country real quick. They just haven't done it because it's going to jump. It's going to, get everybody eventually, but not the real ones. We haven't had it at all.
Right.
You just die. You don't get sick. You just die.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. That'll be a wrap for me. I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you guys for being here. And shout out to you guys who were on the Instagram stream last night. I appreciate y'all for that. That stream will be up Friday night, 8 p.m. So if you missed the Instagram stream, you want to see it on YouTube, that'll be up Friday at 8 p.m. on the YouTubes. And also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will always be in the description, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Alrighty, that's a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping them trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I got all the super chats, I believe, except for one right here. Lothair at the 0 hour came through and says, I'm an atheist. That's what it means. Hey, man, whatever you do, you know what? One thing, whatever somebody is with their religion, I try not to even really comment on that in their faith, whatever they got going on, because people just do all kind of stuff. So I'm like, hey, as long as you don't do a lot of wop bar and blow me up, it's fine. Whatever you want to believe in is fine. It don't even really matter. So, yeah, I'm not even a religious person, so I don't really try to, police whatever you got going on. Luciferian, okay, I don't do nothing. I can't do nothing with that. But if you want to do that, that's your thing. But he says it means that he is an atheist. Okay, well, there you have it. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Again, I'll be back live on a Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm live each and every Tuesday on the Instagrams at 9 p.m. Eastern Time to 10:30-ish, 11-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here every day, put on pre-recorded videos. Sometimes I'm trying to put fewer shorts on YouTube. So you may see more shorts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I put everything on Twitter. Twitter get everything for the most part. I put it all on over there. But my short specifically and more of my regular content, definitely Facebook and Instagram. If you're watching from Facebook right now, thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys. You guys are really a big growing community. I appreciate y'all on Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube, of course, the native, the core, the OGs on YouTube, and also Twitter. If you're coming from there, that's crazy. If you came to this stream from Twitter, hey, hats off to you. And shout out to the TikTokians. I'll be over there in a minute. But that'll be pretty much a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.